All right, let's roll. Let's do this thing. The Friday Night Freak Show has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, and everybody else in between. From Costa Rica to California, Montreal to New York, Winnipeg, Weehawken. Let's roll. My T-shirt's kind of looking kind of worn and torn here. My T-shirt's like me, worn and torn. It's the Worn and Torn Freak Show. Let's do this thing. I was actually wearing a jacket all day, and it was so hot out. I was looking around for my jacket. I'm like, I can't find it. I can't find it. And then I realized, oh shit, I left it in the studio. So yeah, I'm a little bit fried. It is. It's old school. It is a good shirt. It's all crumbled though. I just threw it on at the last second. Yeah, it's old school. It's one of the few, like I gave away most of my clothes, but I didn't give away this. I kept this one. The back is cool too. So, hey, we appreciate you guys joining us here this evening. So we step up and in on this freak show. We'll be with you for about 120 minutes here tonight. We've got some late night football. We'll get into this Arizona game. We've got late night basketball as well. Although I'm all college football tonight. I talked about it earlier, and I think there was a fumble. I thought Virginia just fumbled. So listen, we're on the Pittsburgh Panthers. We got 7 points. They're winning by 4 right now. I thought the number was too high, but I'm going to get burnt by the total. We're not going to get to 47 points in this game. I like Pittsburgh here. I think Pittsburgh can potentially win this game outright. I only bet 3 games tonight. It's kind of weird. I'm all over the place. Like, last couple of nights we've been talking about, betting smarter and stuff. And I really didn't like the NBA card. I was looking at it. Nothing really stuck out to me. Even though I've done very well in the NBA this year, I've done very well because there's been a couple of nights where I'm like, pass. We talked about it earlier tonight with Cam, and I think I have a tendency, but I'm sure a lot of you guys do too, to bet every sport every night. Little NBA action, little college basketball action, college football, midweek game action, NHL action. What are you taking in that league? What are you taking in this league? It's like, you can't win fucking betting 5 leagues a night, man. I looked at the games tonight. I looked at the hockey briefly. I was like, nah. I looked at the basketball. I could have forced a couple NBA picks, but I was like, nah. I actually did like the Knicks, but, I'm getting 6. But, it's easy for me to say now that I see they're winning by 12. So I didn't like the NBA tonight. So I was like, I like these college football games. I like Pittsburgh a lot. I really like Pittsburgh a lot. Like, I even took Pittsburgh in a Golden Nugget contest. Like, I liked it that much. So I took the Pittsburgh Panthers. I bet on them, but I also like the over in this game. I can't say I didn't, right? It's not like, what am I going to do? I thought this game would get to 47 points. I swear, fucking Pittsburgh, man. Every second week, these guys score like 55 points, but every time I bet the over, I get one of these games, like the Notre Dame game. There was another game I had the over with them, and it was the same crap. Like suddenly they were Johnny Ball control. And then other times, you don't take the over in a Pittsburgh game, and you get the update. The Pittsburgh Panthers in Syracuse, fucking 62-62 in the third quarter. It's like I don't understand this, this team. But I actually do understand Pitt. If you guys remember before the year started, that was my win total of the year. Remember last year I gave you FAU. This year, the one team I gave was the Pittsburgh Panthers. Said Pittsburgh Panthers over 5.5 wins. They're at 4 right now. They got 4 games left. So, they need to win 2 of the 4 games. If they lose this game, they're not going to get there. Like they pretty this and they know it too. Like they know, like you need to get to 6 to get to a stupid bowl game. So like they need to win 2 games. They could beat Wake Forest. They, like I said last night, Pitt are capable of beating anybody. They could beat Miami later in the year, but if you're Pittsburgh, like you've got fucking 4 chances, and after this 3 chances to win 2 games. So you better start winning. The big man on campus will join us at 11 o'clock Eastern. We'll run through the gauntlet of picks here tonight. Yeah, what's up, Drew? I'm actually very, very perturbed, Drew. I've been so tired and busy. I haven't made it out to the book this week. I've been betting online, right? So I've been like, but it's caught up to me. And I've realized now that I'm screwed. Like tomorrow I'm busy all day, all night. Now, I don't take a lot of time off, but I told them, listen, like I can't come in 10 in the morning, fucking Sunday morning. I don't tap out very often, as you guys know, but I'm on tomorrow from 10 until 1. And then I'm on again from 3 until 5. Then I'm going to the UFC. The UFC doesn't end until 1 in the morning. Like, seriously, like it literally does. UFCs do not end until like 1 Eastern or so. Like, even if I wasn't drinking, I'd be fucking tired. Like, you throw in the fact that I'll be drinking, and I know, like, basically the last time I went into the studio hungover on one of these Sunday morning shows, like, I came this fucking close to throwing up. I think I did throw up, actually. I think I did, like in the garbage can briefly. I came real close to tapping out a few times. It's 6 hours. So, I was all right for like 10 to 12. I was fine. The first 2 hours, I was still drunk. I was still buzzed. So I was fine. I was like, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah. I was giving a bunch of picks. I had a lot of energy. I was like, wow, I'm doing all right. And then by the time 1 o'clock came, man, it was a problem. I was fucking spinning. I was sweating out booze and shit. And it's a little much. Now I'm already feeling bad because I told them, listen, I can't come in at 1 o'clock. I told Cardano. I said, I'm doing this Saturday UFC show. I said, I'm on every day, all day. I said, I'm going to the UFC. It's going to be a problem for me to do 10 a.m., right? And I told him point blank, I'll be hungover and I can't. I said, I'll be very sick on Sunday morning. I plan on being sick. And he's like, oh, yeah, no problem and stuff. And plus, I don't think he knows. Next weekend's my super weekend where we got real issues. So I told him, listen, I can't come in at 10, but I told him, listen, I'll come in after. I said, I'll come in the afternoon. I'll give some picks. I'll hang out with the guys. And I said, maybe I'll hang out with Cam later on in the afternoon on Skype and shit, when Cam comes on. I said, I'll come in, but I'm just not going to come in at 10 a.m. Dude, I'm on 6 hours. We're on till 8 o'clock. It's sort of pick your hours, too. It's not like, rigid. If you notice, we just sort of trade off, like, so Blewett's there. It's like a rotating. It's Blewett, Corey, Ventura, fucking Engel, But it's basically me and Corey are the staples. So I told him, listen, I just won't be in for the first couple hours. I'll come in even before the 1 o'clock game. I said, I'll come in at like 12:45. I'll give some picks before the 1 o'clock game. But then Cardano just said, he told them I'm not coming in at all. But he put in the email. So he goes, due to Morency's drinking at the UFC on Sunday, he will not be coming in on Sunday. It's like, yeah, thanks for like blasting me out on a company-wide email. That I go out for one drink one night and I got a fucking email. Oh, yeah, Morency's getting drunk Saturday, so he's not coming in Sunday. And what am I going to say next week, too? I'm going to say, I'm going to be really drunk next week for Michigan and the Bills. Michigan and the Bills next week. It's like, that next week it's going to be even a bigger problem. And, we found out, too, like, basically, so this is the deal. If Michigan win tomorrow against Penn State, which they should, they're 12-point favorites. Michigan win tomorrow. Like I was saying too, I can't get to the sports book tomorrow. I'm going to have to figure something out. Now, our boy Riggs is going. I know he's driving past, so I was speaking to him earlier. That's the thing. Drew, you're going to be going. You're going super early. I'll figure it out. I'm going to make it happen. Like, I'll make something happen. Like I said, I spoke to Riggs, and he said he'll pass by in the morning, put the plays in, and he's coming to the UFC after. So that's sort of the tentative plan. Or I'll just tell Riggs, you put these fucking plays in, and I'll give you the money when I see you tonight. Give me the tickets. Problem is, I got a lot of plays. I got a lot of plays to give you guys tonight. I'm looking at the board tomorrow, and there's a lot of things that are popping off here. Not a ton of things, but there's a few. Like, yeah, Alabama and LSU. I'm getting in on that over. I'm betting the LSU-Alabama over. I like the Florida Gators to beat up on Missouri. I like Oklahoma and Texas Tech to go over the number. Oklahoma shouldn't mess those guys up too, but I like the over. I'll probably end up taking Oklahoma too. I like the Florida Gators, Oklahoma, Texas Tech over. I want to take what was the one I wanted to take? Oh, yeah, I want to take the under in the Army Air Force game. But it's 42 points. I can't take it now. It's too low. It's too low for a college game. Our Golden Nugget, our Gold Panthers tonight. Pittsburgh Panthers plus 7.5 tonight. The Washington Redskins. Minnesota Vikings. Houston Texans. Seattle Seahawks. Tennessee Titans. There's one more NFL. Fuck. Let me find it. You know what the problem is, Paco, is you got to send them in via number, not team name. So I never really remember. I know. Who was it? Pittsburgh Panthers, 7 of them. Pittsburgh Panthers 1. Minnesota Vikings 2. Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3. Minnesota Vikings minus the 4.5. Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3. Seattle Seahawks minus 1.5. Washington Redskins minus 1 or whatever it was. Houston Texans minus 1. And the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans. Our super contest picks, I'm not screwing around tonight, as you guys see. Our super contest picks were the same picks. We got except the New England Patriots. Except I didn't really love that. That was a Steve pick. But we've got the Washington Redskins, Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans, Seattle Seahawks, and New England Patriots. Patriots always screw us, so we're probably going to lose that game. You know, we're 19-18-3 in the super contest. We haven't lost it, but we're going to have to, we need a bunch of big weeks. We're still in it. You know, we're not like sub 500 or we're not tanked. If you just need to be in striking distance and get hot over the last month or so, you really, trust me, man. Like our boy Slick Picks from Boston. We got to send him an email. Hope he's all right. Our boy Slick Picks, he went from 800th to fucking 13th once in one day. It was crazy. He went from he told me he said once on the final Sunday he was in 5th place or something, or he was convinced he was going to win. He actually flew into Vegas from Boston and stuff because he was like, "Fuck, I'm in 7th place right now," or whatever, going into the last week. So he was so excited. Just he flew in and he totally tanked. Fuck, he went 1-4 or something. And he went from 5th to like fucking 300. and then the ones one year Slick Picks, he finished like 17th in the super contest. They're in that range, 13th, 15th, in that ballpark figure. And he said he didn't think he had a chance. He was in like 800th place or something with like 2 weeks left, 3 weeks left. And he basically went like 14-1 over the last 3 weeks, and he ended up in the money. Right? So it's like a horse race. You don't want to go wire to wire. You're not going to go wire to wire, but, you know, we're going to need some big weeks. But there's been past years in the super contest where we're sort of tanked, where it's like, fuck, we're 6 games under 500. We're going to need to go 5-0 every week. So that's not the case, at least right now. You know, you know, our chances aren't good, but we're not out. We're like, put it this way, we're like a fucking golfer. We're halfway through and we're at par right now. You know, we're not, you know, we made the cut. You know, it's not like we didn't make the cut, but as it is now, we're just going to be another schmuck out there, right? The Golden Nugget contest is the one that we've got a puncher's chance at. We're in 67th place. Top 20 makes money. We're 32, 22, and 2. So, you know, we're fucking 10 games over 500 in this one. That's not bad, 32, 22. I don't know what percentage. I think it's over 60%. So, like, we're doing well in the Golden Nugget one. But the problem with the Golden Nugget one is the players are better. I was hoping the Golden Nugget contest would sort of fly under the radar and stuff, but it didn't. The competition is almost tougher in a Golden Nugget contest. Like, the motherfucker in first place has got like 40 wins or something, man. It's like, it's relentless. The guy doesn't let up. Like, I could go over the records of the Golden Nugget teams, man. It's fucking like, holy shit, dude. You got to chill out. Like, I'm 32 and 22, but that's pretty good. But I'm having a hard time because there's like 10, 15 people at the top. They just keep winning. Now, I've only really been taking NFL because I don't trust college that much. So in the contest, so I've been taking mostly NFL, and I've been killing it. Like I said, I went 5-9 in the first 2 weeks, pretty much with college picks, and I was like, screw this, let's go to NFL only. And that's when so since 5-9, now I'm 32 and 22. That's a big swing turnaround, right? So I've been killing it, and I've really climbed. Like, I was in 280th place before. I was like near the bottom, and I fucking climbed all the way. I think I got hired to like 40th or something 2 weeks ago, but I went 4-3 only last week because of fucking college. 2 college games. I go 4-1 in the NFL, 0-2 in college. Fucking idiot. Stupid person, me. Fuck. So we got a puncher's chance. So we got the Pittsburgh Panthers tonight. It'd be nice to get that college win back. Ooh, 20-13. We got a puncher's chance of the over here suddenly. We got a puncher's chance of the over, boys. All right, late night game, 10:30. I'm on Arizona. Colorado are overrated. Colorado won the first 5 games of the year. They were playing bad teams. All those games were at home. You know, like literally, how many road games did they play earlier in the year? Look at their schedule. And who did they play? Like, what was Colorado's best win? You know, they beat Arizona State on a Friday night that we had it. You know, or it was UCLA. You know what I mean? They haven't really beaten anybody. And all those games were at home. They went on the road to USC. They lost. You know, they've basically been losing. You know, they lose on the road every week. You know, they're no powerhouse. We talk about it all the time. In college football, there's always teams that start off 5-0 and shit, but they're really not that good. And then at the end of the year, they're 6-6, 7-5 or whatever. That's the case with Colorado. Ooh, big sack. Pittsburgh Panthers ain't playing. Pittsburgh Panthers ain't playing. Fuck. They look better than the Raiders. Screw you, fucking Virginia fans. They're all like looking shocked. What do you expect? You're the Virginia Cavaliers. I think he grabbed them by their dreadlocks. Supposedly they're going to make a rule where you can't tackle people by their hair anymore. Oh, fuck. That was like a high snap. I thought it went over his head for a second. Stupid kid on fucking Pittsburgh. Why do players go near the ball? Like, I don't understand. For the life of me, I don't understand. I saw an NFL player do it the other night, too. The ball's bouncing around, and he sort of, like, steps near it. It's like, why are you doing that? Like how many times, like in Pop Warner, they tell you, like, don't go near the ball, kid, on a punt, you know? Ball's going to bounce around. Just get away from it. Like you see that before, like Virginia punts the ball's bouncing around. There's like 4 kids on Virginia around it. The ball's dead. Some reason a kid on Pittsburgh like decides to run right past the ball. It's like, why are you doing that? Like if I was the coach after, I'd pull this kid aside. I'd say, dude, like, I'd ask him, what were you trying to accomplish? Like, were you just trying to get on TV because you knew the ball was there? Like, because that's what I'm thinking. Like you wanted to get on TV. All right, so as I'm saying, hey, what's up, Riggs? Yeah, so Riggs, listen. What time are you going to the book at, Riggs? We need to talk. We need to talk, Riggs. I'll send you a text after. I've got a bunch of UFC parlays we need to put in. So either like we can hook up, if you can pass by the studio or wherever. I don't leave here until like fucking 8:45 if you come this early. And we can hook up later. You can come down and take a picture with Michelle Serpico and Robin Black. I think you want the picture with Serpico. We'll go to the UFC. And of course, I screwed you guys last week on Patreon. And then I realized, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm going to be at the UFC tomorrow night. So it never ends. So after I get off the air at 5 o'clock on the Fantasy Sports Network, I'm going to, we'll do the Patreon show from the fucking bar. We're going to do it from the bar Versa. We'll just sort of continue the show, but then we can drop F-bombs and stuff. I know the internet passwords, so I'm there every day. Like no one's gonna say shit to me. So we'll just set up at the bar after. We'll have some drinks, and you know, truth be told, it's pretty good in there. They do show the games. They don't have the sound up. You know, they have music playing, but they have the games on. So they'll have all the college football games on and everything at 5 o'clock in the bar there. Like Joe Lisi actually watches the games there on Saturday. He's insane. Fuck. Like me and Rich Cervinello can't get out of there fast enough. Like Rich is gone. I'm like, all right, see you later, Joe. Gabe, you're not going to stay and watch the games. Like he sits there till like 6 at night. Fuck. The thing is, it's not like a sports bar though. It's kind of, it's like I say when I say that, it's kind of awkward. Like it's very quiet during the day. So it's this like sort of upscale place. It's quiet, but they have all the games on, but there's no sound. I told him, hey, I said, what about the sound, Joe? He goes, no, I don't want the sound. I like it with no sound. And Joe Lisi's a smart guy. Joe Lisi goes, Gabe, if there's sound, the chicks don't stay here. He goes, look, there's all these like upscale hot chicks like to go to this hotel bar. And he goes, if there was sound, these chicks wouldn't be sitting at the bar. And he goes, it's better with no sound. It's true. That's the thing. Like there's, you know, like the sports bars, that's why sports bars don't really make it, because there's only dudes who want to go in there. And dudes don't want to sit with just dudes. So you notice like a lot of places nowadays, they show the game, but it's not a sports bar. You know what I mean? Like that, there was a place like that at Liberty Village. That's what they were all like. Like that local place it was called. Like they had the screens on, they had the games on, but they were playing like fucking techno music and shit. And it was packed with fucking chicks and shit that weren't watching the game, but there were dudes that were watching the game without the sound, right? Yeah, I got to tell you too. Today, Drew, yeah, Williams Landing, same type thing. They show the game with no sound. The hotel is popping, fuck. Like there were all these new hot waitresses. There were a ton of chicks. Most of them were smiling at me and shit. I was doing the show today. We got a lot of love today from the chicks. They were like hot chicks fucking smiling and waving. I was like, holy fuck, I'm coming back here tomorrow night. You know what it is, guys? It's the fucking porn convention. Taylor Stevens is, remember, she's been here. She's for Exotica. Like today, Monique Alexander was eating breakfast. We just missed her, though. I was going to get her on the show. But today, all the Hooters girls were in the fucking lobby of the hotel. They did the Hooters calendar. I don't know where, like at the Hooters, I guess, across the street from MSG. And so there was all these chicks there, and I was in a talkative mood today. So they had their fucking sachets on, Miss January, Miss February. So I went up to them. I'm like, hey, what pageant are you guys with? They're like, we're the Hooters calendar girls. I said, oh, you're Miss January. Okay. So yeah, there was all the Hooters girls there. And then even the guys in the hotel came up to me and they're like, man, there's all these porn stars here, bro. And I said, yeah, I know. I said, I had them on the show. And they said, you know Monique Alexander? She's fucking right upstairs. You know, she's fucking hot. And they're like, so I tried to get her on the show, but we missed her. Yeah, but the hotel, and it's the New York City Marathon this weekend. It's the New York City Marathon, which is like there's over 50,000 runners. So plus, think about it, 50,000 runners. Most of them aren't from here. Like the hotel is swarmed with joggers too. There's a lot of hot chicks from France in the hotel right now because in the bar restaurant, because there's like a whole contingent from France that are running. Like that's their hotel or something. Like there's a French flag up. There's like at the front desk, they have like welcome, vive la France, welcome French people type shit. So there's all these uppity France people walking around. It's funny too. I started talking French to them and they didn't understand a word I said. This whole thing, like people from Quebec and France don't like each other. No, I don't want to sleep in the studio. That was the thing. At that point, I could have, Saturday night, I was like, yeah, I might as well just sleep in a fucking studio. Fuck, I'll get drunk. I'll just go back from after. I'll go out to a bar around MSG after the fight card, and I'll go back to the studio after, pass out. But I'm not doing that. It's going to be a pain in the ass getting back here, though, later that night. I never get out in New York, you know what I mean, ever. So my deal is I want to go to the MSG deal. And I wouldn't mind going out like Taylor Stevens at the Exotica fucking porn convention. Sonny and Taylor were telling me, like, the party goes on all night. Like, it's after hours and the whole 9 yards. So the only thing is it's far, fuck. I could leave MSG, UFC, and go out to the porn convention to an after party or something, but it's a fucking hour out there, man. And I don't want to be stuck out in fucking middle of nowhere, New Jersey, fuck Sunday morning. I got bets I got to deal with. I got bets I got to deal with. No, it's true. They did. I said, oh, yeah. I started speaking French. I said, je parle français. And they're like, the guy looks at me. And he goes, oh, Quebec. Yeah, it's like, yeah, buddy, Quebec. Like, basically, like, Quebec is like Mexico and France is like Spain to them. Like, they don't, like, the people in France, or it's like England and America. You know what I mean? Like, people in France think Quebec has, like, destroyed their language, you know? Like, they think that, like, the French Quebec talk is, like, it's fucked up. They don't understand it. And it's funny because even French Quebecers have a hard time understanding France. They don't like it. And it's funny. It's hard to say this, but it's hard to describe unless you're French. Like we don't like each other's accents. You know what I mean? Like nobody likes the French accent from France. Like people, like it pisses people in Quebec off. It's like, fuck, just shut up. Fuck, stop talking like that. And people in France think people in Quebec are sort of like fucking, like it's too much slang and they butchered it. Like Quebec has sort of made up their own language. They just took French, put a little English in it and made it their own. Like, so like I said, you figure Quebec and France are like massive buddies, but like Quebec's like sister, you know what I mean? Sister country type thing is Belgium. It's not France. Like Montreal's sister city is fucking Brussels. You know what I mean? Like the mayor of Brussels comes to Montreal like once a year, whatever. And Montreal goes to Brussels, and like we do business with each other and shit. It's not Paris. Yeah, like Elvis Gratton. Elvis Gratton is the like, he's exactly. Or like the hockey movie Les Boys. Calais Tabarnak. Like people in France don't say that. You know what I mean? Like people in Quebec, it's very raw. It's very raw. Like people in France are more like dignified and refined and stuff. People in Quebec just get right to the point. So it's like England and America. You know what I mean? Like people in England think, oh, those Americans, man, they can't talk. You know, they butcher the English language. No, no, man. The Queen of England never goes to Quebec, man. um, no, the royal family stays away from Quebec. They're not welcome in Quebec. They've been there. Like it's not like people throw rocks at them or anything, but they're aware politically. It's not. It won't go over well. People like they. I remember the last time she went to Quebec. It was a while ago, and people were. It was just too much. It was Prince Charles and Diana, I think, that came to Montreal, and I remember people just bitch too much. Why are we paying for this? But they're not my queen. You know, it's not mine. Get the free. You know, they go to whenever the royal family comes to Canada, they go to like the same places. They go to Prince Edward Island. They go Halifax. Winnipeg loves them. Winnipeg really loves the Queen. I think it's called the Queen City. Like they look at like the Winnipeg Jet games. They have the fucking Queen up and shit. Like they love the Queen of Winnipeg. Like she's not like Toronto. She doesn't go to and shit. But she's not. It's only honorary, guys. She's not the Queen of Canada. Fuck. You know, it's not like it's honorary. It's honorary. Like you know what I mean. No one knows anything about the Queen. Like no one talks about the Queen of Canada. Like it's a big misconception. She is on the money though. She is on the money. So that's how people know her, like the lady on the money, you know. But like even the news, it's not like and Queen Elizabeth. Like they talk about her more in the States than they do in Canada. Like Canada's not a royal family obsessed country. I mean, there's the Commonwealth, you know, there's a partnership, but yeah, it's like they're cousins. It's like they're cousins. You know what I mean? Like it's like Britain, like England or Canada's cousins. In Australia. Like Canada, if you're Canadian, you don't need you can just go to England. Like anyone that goes to England, like you need a visa and shit. Like you know what I mean? Like you just pop up there. Like we can go to any the Commonwealth countries. You just show up and shit. So I don't know. I don't know how welcome you. Supposedly, you're supposed to be welcome when you go there. Canada's relationship with England isn't, overly, they're trading partners and shit, but you don't really hear much about them, All right, so what's going on here? So it's New Zealand and Australia. Yeah, I know. I know Australia is very. I know Australia is very. Yeah, they're very. Australia's hard to get in and out of. 23-13 right now. You got a first and goal situation. So we're up to 36 points. It's too little, too late. Too little, too late. I should get a title for a song. Too little, too late. Dun, 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 dun. Too little, too late. 23-13. So like I said, guys, the game hasn't started yet, but we're on the Arizona Wildcats. I got them earlier, -140 on the money line. But the Wildcats have become a trendy pick here tonight. Everyone's hopping on it, so it's -3.5 right now. Hasn't started yet. Money line's -175. Total's 57.5. Khalil Tate back. They're about to kick off any minute, I think. Last week, Arizona throttled the Oregon Ducks. And similar to the Pittsburgh Panthers, they have the same record even. What's Arizona? 4-4, right? So similar to Pittsburgh. Like Arizona need wins, man, like to get into a bowl game. And they're not going to, I don't think they lose this game at home. And there could be a little roller coaster. It could be a little back and forth. I lean to the over as well, but I think Arizona wins this game. Oh, they're taking a knee. Virginia's getting kneed on their own field here. Wow. Pittsburgh wins 23-13. Fuck, I fucking lose the over. Fuck me. Am I friends with Kelly in Vegas? I know Kelly in Vegas. I got along well with her. Yeah, I got along well with her at the IFBC. No, there's no totals. There's no totals in the contest anymore. So I should be happy. I hit the Pittsburgh Panthers. That's a win in the nugget. Every win counts. That's one. That's one win. So now we're 33. What's up, Lisa? Good to see you. So now, listen, I only have 3 picks here tonight. So, we're 1-1 right now. Arizona wins. It's a profitable night. Let's get it. Is Kelly an actual gambler? Yes, she's a gambler. Yes. She won the mini super contest last year, I think. Ryan J says, "Do we talk UFC yet?" I talked UFC today for about 4 hours. I talked UFC today for 4 hours. Robin Black was in studio for 2 hours this morning. And then he was in studio for another 1 hour on the afternoon show tonight. No, so 3 hours. We need 3 hours of UFC talk today. But let's be real. It's not the most stacked card here. Not the most stacked card. Yeah, so you know, Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis has been a nice story this week. I don't often do this. I don't often do this with the UFC, but I'm basically going to take Derek Lewis knowing I'm going to lose, right? I mean, it's not like I'm going in this with my eyes wide shut here, like closed. It's not like I'm going in there thinking, oh, you know what? Oh, he can really win. He can really win. It's going to be tough. Golden State coming out on fire, another over game. Yeah, probably headshot. I don't see why not. It'll be right around the number, dude. The numbers are getting pretty high and sharp. So I don't, like I said, I don't often like bet on a, I'm not one of those guys, but it pays off. It pays off more with the women's fights where you just blindly take the massive underdogs in these women championship fights. But Daniel Cormier doesn't lose. The only person he's lost to is John Jones. He fought Jones twice. He lost twice. Jones was fucking roided up twice. So it's the only guy he's ever lost to. And I think it's like the only guy he'll ever end up losing to. Cormier's that good. He really is. I have a lot of respect. Cormier's that good. So I don't like betting against him. But Cormier's also a minus 695 favorite. And Derek Lewis is a big-ass dude who can knock anyone out. So as someone who's going to the fight, I'm not going to bet a lot on. Like I said, you put $50 on Lewis. Now, I'll tell you right now, we'll get you the number here, but check out Bet Online, is that if Derek Lewis wins the fight, he wins via stoppage. He wins via stoppage. It could be a ground and pound. It could be like a KO, whatever, but you know, he's going to win via stoppage. Like, he's not winning a decision. It's not going 25 minutes. But you can actually get Derek Lewis at like plus 650, plus 750 to win via stoppage. And that's the only way he can win. Now, is he going to win? Probably not. Like, if you ask me what's the percentage of chance that Derek Lewis has to win this fight tomorrow? I'd probably say about a 3 to 5% chance. Like, you know, Cormier's that good. Like, if they fought, let's say if they fought 100 times, you know, in the past, Cormier probably wins about 98 of them, almost 95 of them, you know, but, you know, you got a 5% chance. And thing is, Cormier is 40 years old now, so the percentages go down a bit. Cormier's older. He hasn't trained really for this fight. You know, he took this fight on a month's notice, Cormier. Like, Cormier is sort of like Superman like that. Like, you know, he does broadcasting all the time. Like, he does, like, every day. Like, Daniel Cormier works every card. Like, he's a busy dude, man, if you look at his schedule and stuff. I mean, you know, look, he took his kids out. He flew his kids up here for the fight. He took his kids out on Halloween in New York the other night. He's not even from here, and he went trick-or-treating with them. You know, like, yeah, I was reading, like, he's like a wrestling coach of his kids' high school team. Like, he's a very busy dude. And he's like, yeah, I'll take the fight on a month's notice. Because he's so good, he just knows, whatever, I'm better than this guy. I'll beat him. Fuck. He works out a bit. He gets in a bit of shape. But he's not going to be ripped or anything like that. Like, he just sort of shows up and wins. And Derek Lewis playing with house money. I just don't see... Like I said, there's not a lot of good ways to Lewis to win. Like, the only thing is, if Lewis, number one, if Lewis lands clean, he can knock anyone out. We're talking about a 285-pound dude, you know. So, and he's got heavy hands. So if he connects with Cormier and lands clean, Cormier's in a lot of trouble. If Cormier lands clean on Lewis, Lewis is in a bit of trouble himself, but Lewis, yeah, Hunt got him, but no shame in that. Lewis can also take a beating, though. Lewis is a pretty resilient guy. And Cormier can't be reckless. Like, Cormier's best thing to do is wrestle him, but you got to be careful with Lewis on the ground. Lewis's ground game is good. Like for a big, Lewis is a big fucking dude, man, and he's not bad. If he had, like I said, if somehow there's some sort of weird transition rollover and Lewis ends up on top of you, you're in a lot of fucking trouble. It's like Robin said today, like Derek Lewis has like 18 knockouts in his career, stoppages. And I think 13 of them are basically from the ground. Like that's his thing. He can connect, but he's a big dude. So he likes the old tree fucking, you both fall and fucking he's on top and you look up and you're like, oh shit. And he starts raining down the shots. He's a bigger dude than Cormier. Like Robin was saying today that Derek Lewis needs to cut weight to make the weight at heavyweight. Like Derek Lewis weighed today 200 and fucking what did he come in today at? 264 pounds. So he's allowed 265. He got to 264. Now, tonight, Derek Lewis is going to put on another 25 pounds. He's going to be 295 pounds tomorrow. 290, 295. Think about that. It's fucking massive, man. Fuck. The thing is, he's not slow. He's not some big fat guy. He used to be fatter, but he's in shape now. And he's not fat. He's a fucking mountain of a man. He's bigger than Cormier is. And Cormier is a thick sort of fire hydrant dude. Derek Lewis is a big, big dude. And that's the thing I told you guys. Yeah, Cormier's got the old man fat. You know what I mean? Cormier's got the old grandfather strength almost. He doesn't care. Like I told you guys, Cormier's not at the gym. I'm the champion. Weights. You know what I mean? I'm the champ. Cormier's not doing that. Cormier's I'm the champion. How can I make money today? All right, yeah, I'll do the Fox broadcast. Yes. Cormier is into money. He's not at the gym hitting the bag all day, this guy. He's 41 years old. He's been the fucking multiple champion pretty much everywhere he's been. He's been an Olympian. And he's so good, you know what I mean? He's a fighter. He's all right, I'll take the guy down or I'll knock him out. Fuck. So as I stated, I'm not sitting here telling you guys, Derek Lewis this, Derek Lewis that. He's plus fucking 500 for a reason, man. Daniel Cormier is not good, but Daniel Cormier is 40, 41 years old. Derek Lewis is a much younger man. He's much bigger. And shit happens in a cage. And we all know this, especially in a heavyweight fight, dude. It's different. The lighter weight classes is different. It's harder to knock someone out, there's just less knockouts at a 145-pound fight. It's more pitter-patter and crazy fight. It's entertaining. But heavyweight, all it takes is one shot. Like I said, you got 295 pounds and a black beast, fucking Derek Lewis's big-ass fist, fucking, he would kill me. If Derek Lewis punched me, my head would, fucking fall off. It's funny. We were talking with Robin Black about this today. And I said, man, I said, I can't imagine being in a cage with Derek Lewis. And he said to me, Robin says, he's like, well, Gabe, he goes, it really wouldn't be that bad in a cage with Derek Lewis. I was like, why, And he goes, he would actually finish you off so fast, it would be over quickly and you'd be just out of it. You know what I mean? He goes, the real problem is when you wake up in a hospital after. And I thought about it, and he's right. So imagine fighting Derek Lewis. It's whatever, man. What's going to happen? It's like being on death row. It's like being in an electric chair. All right, you're there. You won't remember anything. You're going to be there. I remember being in the ring. Bam, he hits you. You're fucking, I'm out cold. Bam. I get taken to the hospital. I wake up with a broken fucking face and jaw and shit. Yeah, Robin's fucking funny. He's a good analyst. The way Robin said it, he goes, well, Gabe, if you fought Derek Lewis, you wouldn't really feel much. It would be over so fast. That's a good point. Corey started off talking smack to fucking Robin today. Corey's like, so what's the deal? You actually fought before? Robin's like, yeah, I fought 9 times. And he's like, are you any good? And Robin goes, I'm better than you. Hey, good shit, Riggs. I'll text you after, Riggs. My phone will be up. All right, good shit, buddy. So listen, I got some good UFC parlays for us, Riggs, tomorrow. We're going to make some money tomorrow. Yeah, Robin against the – yeah, you saw that with Corey? Corey's all like making faces after, too. Like, Corey was surprised that Robin came back at him like that. Yeah, Corey said he had a better chance against that kid. Yeah, Robin. Yeah, that was fucking funny, man. There's been some funny shit this week on our shows. Yeah, the awkward, yeah, even me, I was like, all right, kid, it's enough of this kid fuck, you know? Yeah, the awkward fucking Dukes of Hazzard was the best. Fuck. Today we had Christine Leahy on. We got along with her. That was better. We got along with her. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was good high quality shows this week. He's like, Leonard Skinner had it. He goes, Smokey and the Bandit had that Confederate. He goes, it's not racist. He goes, the best is he really got worked up, man, Duke, fuck, Bo Duke. And then he's like, he said it like he was serious. Like, me and Corey started laughing. He goes, you think that if the General Lee was raised, if we were racist, he goes, Uncle Jesse would have fucking smacked our ass. And I wanted to tell him, like, dude, Uncle Jesse's not real. And I tell you what, I'm not so sure Uncle Jesse, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't remember Uncle Jesse as some progressive warrior here. And then Schneider drops it too. He goes, the Dukes of Hazzard is the most loved family TV show of all time. Like, we're getting yelled at by Bo Duke at this point. And even we're like, Bo, chill out, man. Like, fuck, we didn't say it was racist. All we said is, times have changed, all right? And, that was it. Oh, no, it's not racist. And like, fuck. Like I said, it was one of those, all right, John Schneider, we're going to go now. The funniest thing is Mike Carnano walks in after, because, Mike's in the building. So he walks in the studio after. He goes, that was so fucking awkward. He goes, it was great, though. Great. Yeah, it wasn't like really bad awkward. It was just funny. Like it started off as like, ha, 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 Boss Hog jokes. And like, it was going well with John Schneider. Like, it really was. We were about, I should have never brought it up, but I sort of knew what I was doing. So I knew it was going to come. I knew, like, I was like, this will be funny. I said, I wonder where this leads to. So I'm the one that brought it up. I'm like, hey, I said, hey, John, we basically got a black guy in the room who was a big fan of the show when he was a kid. John Schneider's like, yeah, and? It's like, and then Corey's like, wow, he goes, I was a black kid in Harlem that had a bunch of Confederate fucking flags on my wall without knowing it. And John Schneider was like, wow, let me tell you. And Corey was getting madder as John Schneider. Corey's giving me a look because the camera wasn't on Corey. Like, even me, I was like, fuck, I didn't think he was going to go down this road. All he had to say is, yeah, General Lee was a great car. No, there was nothing to it. And times have changed. Next, you know what I mean? No. He went like, he started bitching about Mick Jagger, Leonard Skinner. Like, he was rambling. Like I said, I basically wanted to get him off for his own good almost. I was like thinking, all right, like John Schneider's like a couple of minutes away from like, he's going to say something like crazy now. But that's what you hope. You just let him go over the top. I thought today was pretty good when I asked Christine Leahy if Cowherd's that big of a jerk in real life. I couldn't like be hypocritical. Like, as someone that rips Cowherd all the time, I couldn't sit here and not ask her and say, is Cowherd really an asshole in real life? And she basically said yes. She said, yeah, he is who he is, but he doesn't care. He does it for ratings. She said, Colin once told me that it doesn't matter whether they love you or hate you as long as they talk about you and watch you. And he's right. He is exactly right. Like, I don't care. That's why I like the trolls. The trolls have view to me, right? It doesn't matter. Like, when YouTube counts or the bosses count or the bean counters, whatever, at the end of the year, when people look at my views and shit, they don't know that like a bunch of them were trolls. Either way, they're views, right? So it's the same thing. Like, apathy is the worst. Like, if you're like, I don't like it. Like, I remember I went like 2-3 months once. I didn't get trolled once. I had no hate mail. I had no nothing. Like, nobody was reacting to anything I said, good or bad. It was just one of those, like, oh, is this where it's at? And then I was like, oh, good. People hated me again. Like there's a saying, Tony Kornheiser said this actually, and Ted Teven used to say this too. But I remember Tony Kornheiser. Tony Kornheiser gets suspended a lot for like an old man. For a guy that's been around a lot, and the guy's rich, like he pisses people off, Tony, still. Remember he got suspended like 2 years ago because he said Hannah Storm dresses like a teenage girl and she should grow up. So Tony Kornheiser, I remember like about 10 years ago, Kornheiser got suspended for fucking, I don't know, he fucking ripped the Redskins. He said something like somewhat offensive. And he pissed off like the radio bosses. So I remember Kornheiser got suspended. I remember his first show back. I was listening to it. And, he was like, hey, we're back. And he goes, that's like I think that was my 9th suspension in my career. He goes, I've been suspended a lot over the years. He's sort of laughing. And he goes, honestly, if you're a sports broadcaster, and I like Kornheiser actually. And he goes, if you're a sports broadcaster or you're a journalist, a sports journalist, and he goes, and you've never been, he goes, and you've been in the business for a long time. And he goes, if you've never been suspended once, he goes, you're probably pretty boring. And it stuck with me. And Ted Teven told me the same thing. I remember once I got suspended. I was upset about it. I was like, oh, fuck, man. I was really upset. And Ted Teven told me, he said, he goes, all the other people fucking can't get suspended because they're fucking boring. And he said basically a suspension's a badge of honor in radio. And he said the same thing Kornheiser said. He goes, Gabe, and he goes, you got to be at that. He goes, that's the job. He goes, otherwise no one wants to fucking listen. And it's true. You get complacent, you get boring and shit. That's why I didn't care. And that's why like Mike Cardano gets it. Mike Cardano's a great guy. He gets it. Like when Mike Cardano came in during a commercial break and he goes, what did you guys just say? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, MSG just called, and he goes, they just started yelling that you guys took fucking WFN's side, and it won't be forgotten. And Mike was very happy. He goes, I'm fucking impressed that they're listening. And he goes, this is good. He goes, you pissed them off. And he goes, this is great. Like he was happy because he goes, we're fucking relevant. You know what I mean? Like, it's true. Like, if you're a fucking total nobody, it was like me with Dana White. I used to tell people all the time, Dana White doesn't give a shit what I say. And then one day I found out, no, he really does. And I was with like a badge of honor. I was like, you're telling me Dana White fucking watches my Twitter account and keeps a track of what I tweet? And they're like, yep, here's the list. The UFC had a list of 20 tweets that they didn't like that I did in a 6-month radius. I saw the tweets too. Well, when Connor won the belt once, I said it's a piece of shit fucking toy belt. I was like, this belt doesn't mean anything. It's a Fisher Price toy belt. Connor's not a, The thing is, listen, we were a rights holder at that time, though, and that's the thing. That's the thing, you know. Even I got it. Yes, I'm going to. I just, the story keeps going, K-Con, but yeah, we're going to. The book is the next adventure. I needed to do this heavy metal record as part of the bucket list, so the record is nearly done, and then we'll get into the book. The chapters keep expanding. Like I said, I got a weird proposal today that blew my mind, but I can't really say too much. It's still a little ways off too, but it's not like, you know, my life would change. You know, I'm not saying, oh, you know, we're gonna, you know what I mean? But it's mainstream. I'll put it that way, like very mainstream. That's the thing. Like I'm sort of, you know, I'm getting these mainstream things now, sort of. But I can't lose, like, you know, I can't really change. But at the same point in time, like, I'm in a weird spot now. It's sort of like a politician. Like I got to where I am by being me, but if I'm me, I'm not going to get some of these things. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird dynamic. But I know what to do and not to do. Yeah, it's all God's plan. Exactly. It's all going organically. Whatever happens, happens. All right, let me get the stream going for the Colorado game. Are we down 7-0 already? It's all right. And then we'll get the link over to Big Man on Campus, talk some games for tomorrow. So like you guys were saying, somebody in the chat, I think it was Ryan, said it. It is a very chalk-heavy card tomorrow to UFC. I don't see a lot of upsets. I see a lot of sort of chalk parlays. You know, Derek Lewis is worth a stab. The Chris Weidman fight is interesting. There's a big buzz around Chris Weidman, and I'm not talking about a media buzz, but like Robin was at the arena today. You know, we got his trainer on tomorrow, and so I can tell you sort of from behind the scenes, from Weidman's perspective, you hear this a lot and shit, but he looks very good. Like he's back to reclaim. You know what I mean? He's feeling refreshed. A lot of guys get burnt out. You know, they work so hard to become somebody. They become somebody, but it burns them out. They, you know, Weidman sort of need a little time away. I think he is. Jacare is a tough guy, though, right? You know, no free pass for him. But as I stated, like people around Weidman are very confident about him tomorrow. They like him. Now, the gaming community liked him a lot for the last couple of days. The number was skyrocketing. But it's interesting. After the weigh-in, there was a 20-cent move towards fucking Jacare. Now, like Robin said today, he goes, you never really know with fighters. He goes, they could be lying, you know? A lot of fighters like will pretend, it was great, and really they're not happy or they're not ready or they're sick or you don't know. Like it's come out now too, and Conor is not using it as an excuse. He never even said this publicly, but it's pretty much been confirmed. Conor was seriously ill, against Khabib. He got some weird fucking virus flu shit. He needed a bunch of antibiotics. And props to Conor for not using it as an excuse. You know, he was there. He was able to stand and shit. But I guess he needed to take pills, and I think he had a negative reaction to the antibiotics. And basically his camp was kind of a shit show. But Conor even said, I didn't fucking prepare properly for this fight. He goes, I didn't think he could punch me like that. Like Conor admitted in his little release. He goes, I didn't plan on getting punched like that. I didn't respect his stand-up game. He even said, he goes, not once did I ever practice or vision or do anything. Like, they never practice. All right, he's going to punch like this and like that. This is his combination. Conor was unprepared and cocky, right? But he was also sick. So I'm just stating, you don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going on with these guys. And some of them will lie and throw out false information to move the number. It's a real head game in the MMA world. I'm starting to get, I forgot about all this. I didn't forget about it, but I used to really be in this world, and I'm not really in the MMA world too much anymore. So now I am this weekend, and UFC's here. I'm across the street. I'm talking to all these trainers, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, really, really? You find out all different shit, and I forgot about what a game it was, and everyone just bullshitting and shit. But why would you tell people the truth? If you're a fighter, what are you going to say? Oh, yeah, my elbow hurts. Fight. The other guy's just going to go for your elbow. You've got to lie and shit. It's the way it works. Frank Trigg is the only guy ever. I said, how was your camp? And he goes, not very good. And he goes, Gabe, he goes, every fighter will tell you they had a great camp. But he goes, not true. And he goes, I'll be honest with you. He goes, I didn't have a good camp. And he goes, but I've also had other fights where I didn't have a good camp and I fought great. And he goes, I've had great camps and lost. So Frank Trigg was the only guy that ever said to me, my camp was not great. All right, so let me get the stream going. Yeah, we'll get it over to Big Man. Now, give me 1 second. I'll be fast, actually. You're exactly right, Mangler. UFC, I'm telling you, my best UFC years betting is when I knew everything behind the scenes. You're exactly right. I used to know a lot of inside information, man. I don't now. Ten nothing Colorado. Son of a bitch. Come on, man. We need Arizona in this game. Gabe, talk you out of what? $700 on what? Pittsburgh Panthers? Great pick. What, the Pittsburgh the Raptors are playing tonight. The Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't know. Like, how much do you usually bet a game? Perfect rotation. How much do you usually bet a unit? Like, what's your normal bet size? Like, do you usually put 500, 700 a game, 200 a game, but you want to put 700 on this? Is 700 like a big bet and you want to go all in? Like, what's your bankroll? Like, what do you usually bet a game? Yeah, so no. My advice is no. Don't put $700 on this game. Like, I would, this to me, this game is not a, this to me, perfect rotation, this game is not a, I'm going to put 4 times my unit size game. It's a rivalry game. You're on the road. Baltimore's a desperate football team. I think Pittsburgh's the right side, personally, at +3 as well. But to me, it's not a fucking 4 times your unit game. It, tell me why, like in the chat here, why you think, like, what do you like about it, like, so much that you want to go all in on it? Like, it's a tough game. Like, to me, that's like saying, you know what, I'm going to put $700 on the Rams. I'm going to put 700 on the Saints. It's like, ugh. Like, even me, man, people ask me about this game this week, the Rams and the Saints. I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't know, man. But listen, Mike picks the Rams. I got the Rams, but I'm not like, I want to get some action in on this game. I'll tease the Rams, I guess. But there's a lot of games this week where it's like, really? I like Seattle, but you could say the same thing. Like, really? Can you be sure that Seattle's going to win? You're never sure about any of these games, right? I mean, well, you can't be sure about any team, any situation. It's a game, right? But there's a lot of games this week in the NFL that they're really, really hard. Atlanta, Washington is a hard game, but either team could win. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, either team could win. LA Chargers and Seattle Seahawks, either team could win. Saints, Rams, either team could win. Hell, the Patriot Packer game. The Pats aren't the greatest team against the spread. They fucking struggled with fucking Buffalo the other night. Right? There's a lot of yeah, Larry. It doesn't matter, that shit. I like trends. I respect trends. I'm a trend guy. I'm a bigger trend guy than most guys. I agree with you, Colin Peterson. Too many points. I was surprised to see that. We're talking NFL right now, but I was surprised to see Louisiana. Mississippi State shouldn't be that big of favorites. Good call, Colin Peterson. I like the Buffalo Bills. I nearly called them the San Diego Chargers, Paco. I'm getting good at calling them LA. I apologize to you in San Diego. Listen, I like the Buffalo Bills, but that's another one. If it wasn't Nate Peterman, I'd be all over the Bills. And this is coming from someone that's actually backed Nate Peterman in the past. This is coming from someone that's been stupid enough to take Nate Peterman. I've been that guy that says, hey, Nate Peterman's not that bad, as people think he is, but Nate Peterman is that bad. Like, this is, I don't know, man. Like I said today earlier, you guys didn't see it. It's on the FanDuel website. I'll tweet it out, actually. Like, his FanDuel tweets the videos out, but they do it, they do it like Saturday night or Sunday morning. Like, it's kind of annoying because I do videos for every fucking NFL game, but they only really post like the one, they choose which ones they want to do. I get paid either way, whatever. So it's like I said in the video, like, the Chicago Bears shouldn't be 10-point favorites against anybody anywhere. Like, I would not lay 10 points with the Chicago Bears at home against anybody. Like, if it was the Arizona Cardinals at the Chicago Bears this week and the Bears were -10, I'd be like, fuck, I want to take Arizona here. The problem is you're betting on Nate Peterman. So this is like another one of those games where it's like, man, Buffalo's the play at +10, but Nate Peterman is capable of losing this game for you. he's done it. He's proven it, you know. He's also made plays, so it's kind of weird. Like, remember even in that Texas game, the Houston Texan game, it was like, oh, fuck, Josh Allen got hurt. The Bills are going to win the game, right? Josh Allen wasn't, you know, Josh Allen's stats weren't great, but he was progressing as a rookie. They were battling, and they were winning with Josh Allen. They were going to beat a pretty good Houston Texan team on the road. And, of course, he had to get hurt with like 4 minutes left. And if you remember, Nate Peterman came in and threw a touchdown pass like right away. It was a nice pass to Zay Jones. It was like the two guys that everyone rips all the time. I was so happy for them. I was like, fuck yeah, way to go. Fucking Peterman to Zay Jones. Buffalo takes the lead. It's like unbelievable. We're going to win the game. I was on the air. I jinxed it. I was like, fuck, we can win this game. We're winning 13-10. Come on, there's 3 minutes left now. Like, don't screw this up. And lo and behold, Nate Peterman fucking throws a pick six. It's like, why are you even throwing the ball? Like, we're winning the game. Why did you do this? Like, why are we doing this? Like, I blame the coaching staff too. Like, why would you have him throw the ball? Like, we threw the ball. We got a touchdown. Like, it's like robbing the same bank twice. It's like, dude, like, we got lucky. He threw a touchdown pass. Don't have him throw the ball from our own 10-yard line. Right? Like, it was bad coaching. It was bad coaching. They should have ran the fucking football. And they paid the price for it. You know, they ran the ball. They paid the price for it after. And then after, for the love of God, he nearly threw another pick six after. It came this close. He nearly threw another pick six after. Like, Nate Peterman, come on, man. It's hard to back this guy. But the Bears shouldn't be 10-point favorites against anybody, like even in Chicago. Maybe besides against the Raiders, who, like I said, I've always said that college teams can't beat a pro team. But the Raiders, like, I know the Raiders would beat Alabama, but I'd take Alabama plus the points at this point in time. The Raiders are that bad, fuck. All right, let's bring Big Man. All right, so where we at? What's you saying, perfect rotation? Yeah, the thing is perfect rotation. Now, if the Pittsburgh Steelers win, you're going to blame me. You're going to say, fucking Morency told me not to put $700 on this game. I only put $300 on it, and I loved it. He told me not to. You got to make up your own decision. But like I said, if you bet $200 a game, like you said normally, $220 to win $200, I don't see why the Pittsburgh Steelers are a worthy bet of betting 4 times your unit size in such a difficult game. Let's see what Big Man on campus says. What's up, Big Man?
Hey, Gabe, how are you?
Good stuff, Big Man. Always a pleasure. So, perfect rotations in the chat. Good guy. And he said, Morency, talk me out of putting $700 on the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I asked him, and when somebody asks you that, you need to know the situation. So I said, all right, what do you normally bet a game? What's your bankroll? Like, what's your deal? Do you bet $500 a game? Do you always bet $700 a game? Like, what, He said he bets $220 to win $200 a game usually. That's his normal. So to me, Big Man, I don't really see the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game on either side being a game that's worthy of 4 times your units when it's such a difficult game. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I don't see the reasoning behind that. I mean, it seems like a bit of a toss-up kind of game. Pittsburgh's on the road. They've only won 1 time on the road this year. I wouldn't do that. I like the Ravens. I know they played poorly, but they're at home here. This is always a tight game. Yeah, I mean, this is not a game that I would be betting, 3.5x times what I would normally bet. You want to reserve them for games you're very high on.
You want to be sure. So if you lose, you're like, man, I loved it. What can you say? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's the way you got to look at those things. But like I said, now, Big Man, you know the way this works, and you know the way how gambling is online.
It'll definitely win for sure.
Yeah, he'll say fucking Morency, and he said don't put $700 on it. I was going to put. He'll be telling his buddies that Morency guy told me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to help him out and save him money, but
yeah, it's a gutsy play. I mean, and generally these games are very close between these two. Look, if he's going to do it, he definitely want to get 3. I mean, but yeah, I don't see the reasoning behind doing this.
Yeah. No, that's it. It's about money management. It's a tough game. You know what I would say? I don't have an over problem. I don't overly have a problem with you putting him in. I'm not a big teaser guy. And I was a big teaser guy. But if you guys notice, I really haven't been this year. Teasers are really a 2-team parlay at minus money, fuck, if you really think about it. They're called teasers for a reason. So, but I find that this week in the NFL, there's so many games that they're going to be close. Like the Chargers and the Seahawks, that game is going to be close in the last 6 minutes and shit. It's going to be whoever has the ball last type of deal. Pittsburgh and Baltimore are a little bit strange where they used to always really be close, big man, but there have been some sort of weird double-digit wins. And,
well, Baltimore's covered 4 or 5 against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know. They match up well with them usually, and they're very desperate, right? You got a desperate football team, which is usually good to be betting on a desperate team.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'm trying to open up the stream of this Colorado-Arizona game. It just won't open. Maybe it's the website. Let's see. Yes, it was. It was just Bosscast. All right. Yeah, I got Arizona in this game. From what I understand, they're down 10-0 already.
Yeah, they are. They can't move the football.
They're a weird team, Arizona.
Very weird. Very inconsistent.
I'm not giving up yet, though.
Nah, plenty of time.
Pac-12 game, still early.
Oh, yeah. It's still 10-0.
All right, let me just get this stream going. Allow. Yeah, big day tomorrow. We've got the college football show in the morning and then a UFC show, UFC to MSG tomorrow night, big man. I'm going.
Yeah, I'll be definitely watching that for sure.
What the fuck is this? It says I got the Colorado Buffalo Arizona feed. I hit the link and it takes me to the Vancouver Canuck Colorado Avalanche game.
Wrong sport.
Hey, Canucks have been a good home team. What's going on here? Like, holy fuck me, man. Somebody put a link in the chat if you can for this fucking Arizona game.
Yeah, Gabe, who do you like in that Cormier-Lewis fight?
I was saying earlier, big man, I'm not one of these guys that I hate throwing money away. Yeah, I don't like taking a guy for the sake of it. But I'm taking a guy for the sake of it here, Derek Lewis. He's got a puncher's chance, dude. I mean, he's 295 pounds. If he connects with you, if he can catch Cormier, he's got a puncher's shot. And you can get him to win like inside the distance at about plus 750 or so, 650.
I was thinking about parlaying Weidman and Lewis and then just hedging if Weidman wins.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'm taking Weidman now too. I'm getting caught up in it.
Because you could parlay the two and get like 9.5 to 1.
What, with the Lewis stoppage, right?
No, just to win. Lewis.
Okay, yeah.
And if Weidman fights first, you could hedge and just take. I mean, Cormier is small, but you could find some kind of value there.
Let me see what it is. Like the let's see, total rounds, will fight go distance, round betting, method of victory. All right, method of victory.
You could take Cormier by, I don't know.
All right, Cormier by knockout, TKO, disqualification, or submission, minus 500. So that's the lowest number you can get on Cormier, like in this fight. Like, you know what I mean? That's for him to win like that. Basically, normally, big man, like in boxing, right? That's where the value is, right? If Mayweather's a big favorite, I will take him inside of this or whatever.
Right.
He'll win a unanimous decision, etc.
There's not even value in that.
The odds makers know in this fight, there's no way in hell it goes 25 minutes. Right? So they're not giving you any value. It's not like, it's a bull pick taking one of these guys in a stoppage.
How do you feel about these spots in UFC where you have let's be honest, this guy Lewis is like in the last month become like a superstar.
And you know why? Just because he's funny.
Yeah, because he said that shit. But it's like I heard him on the radio the other day. He's talking about how all he's doing is having sex and he said it's good for wrestling and stuff. And
yeah, he's a joke.
He seems kind of like a clown, kind of.
Well, he's more. It's part of his personality.
But Gabe, he was getting killed in that fight, and he
was getting. I had the Russian in that fight.
Yeah, he was getting killed.
He was beating the shit out of him, and we lost with
I thought it was over. I tweeted out, I'm like, dude, this guy's getting fucking beaten the fuck up, and then he just comes out of nowhere and just, I don't know. I mean,
he's not going to win, but. What are you going to do? You're going to take Cormier at that type of price?
Yeah.
Weidman, let me tell you the current odds here. Weidman, what's Weidman at now?
You could take Weidman and Cormier minus 120.
170. There's some dudes that are going to win here. Let's do a parlay here. I'll tell you right now, Adesanya is going to win. Adesanya is probably the next champion type thing. He's that good. He's sort of the next killer that's coming in through the pipeline here.
Weidman Adesanya plus 106.
Yeah, Israel Adesanya and Chris Weidman Yeah, plus 106. If you put Cormier in this, it becomes plus 135.
This card is shit, other than his 2 fights.
I've been talking about leading with Lewis, but now I'm like, put Cormier in the parlay. It is not a great card. Plus 135. It's not bad, actually. Adesanya, Weidman, and Cormier, plus 135.
You could just keep Cormier out and just do those two, plus 106.
Jason Knight is going to win. Now it becomes plus 230.
Sounds pretty good.
That's like the only other favorites that I can really say, you know, hey, that's the parlay. That's the parlay. Adesanya, Chris Weidman, Daniel Cormier, Jason Knight, plus 230.
Like it.
You put $100 on it, you get fucking $330 back.
Yeah, I like that.
200, 660. That's not bad. Like you put 200 on that. I just accidentally put 300. I didn't hit click, but
no, just bet 300 now, definitely.
Yeah, $300 pays $991. So I almost want to make it an even thousand. Right?
310.
305? Yes, sir.
There you go.
No, I don't need that much. 302. No, 303. Yeah. $303 and you get back $1,000.96.
Sounds like a nice $1,000.
Not a bad Saturday night to watch the fights.
You really trust Jason Knight?
Yeah, I like it. I won't put 300 on this, but like I said, 100 doesn't feel like enough. Like I'm going to the book in the morning. I got someone going to the book in the morning. I mean, I'll probably put 200. What I'll probably do is break them up a bit, though. Like I was going to attack sort of with a bunch of 2-fight parlays through the card. It's a very chalk-heavy card here. You know, like most of the favorites on the main card are going to win. Like Adesanya is set up to win against Brunson. You know, Derek Lewis is a funny guy. He's a big dude and shit, but you're swinging for the fences here with him to win the fight. Chris Weidman and Souza, Jacare. That's kind of a toss-up. What's the over in that fight? 2.5 to the over. Fuck, I'd be looking at the over in that fight. I think there's some good betting opportunities here in this card tomorrow night. I can't get a stream going for this. Let's get some college football, big man. You're missing out here in New York. I'm missing out myself, big man, but it's big triple X porn week here in New York.
Yeah, Exotica, yeah.
Yeah. Like Taylor Stevens, of course, is in studio with us.
I heard about that. Exotica, yeah.
Yeah.
You're missing out. Why the hell aren't you over there?
Well, I'm doing this, and I'm fucking tired as hell. I'm on in the morning again.
Yeah, but what if like Sonny Vegas says, all right, listen, Gabe, right now I have Alexis Texas here. She wants to fuck. What are you doing?
I would go.
You'd quit this show, right?
Yeah, well, it'd be acceptable, wouldn't it?
Yes, I would take it for you.
It would be one of those things. People would be like, yeah, you got to go. I've turned down sex with like 2 or 3 porn stars.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that on a regular.
And I've regretted it all every time after.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend, though, right? So, you know, every time I've had a girlfriend, now it's like, nah.
That's when the porn stars come calling, right?
I'm not going to cheat on my girlfriend with a porn star. Yeah. You know, it's kind of, if you want to bang porn stars, just don't have a girlfriend. But after, when this chick fucking God knows what she did behind my back and then split and shit, I realized after, I was like, you know, I thought about, it was one of the things I thought about. I was like, I could have had sex with that fucking chick. You know what I mean? And I didn't because I was a nice guy and I ended up getting screwed and played anyways in the end.
Yeah.
At least I can take the high road though about this, right?
Sure. Hey, by the way, I meant to ask you, what'd you think of Whitey Bulger getting whacked?
They're pretty interesting.
I thought it was fascinating, really. You have to ask yourself, how does that happen if you're the federal prison system? Seriously, I mean, how does that happen?
I know.
Like, he literally was there less than a day.
They obviously let it happen.
Like, I know the guy that, like, I don't know him personally, but I've heard of the guy that did it. I mean, he's a psychopath, but, like, how does he get even close to that guy? Like,
Yeah, very, very. Quite a weird ending after all that. Like after all,
live by the sword, die by the sword. He should have been killed a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
But I heard they tried to jab his fucking eyes out. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, they tried to rip his tongue out too.
Yeah. Real tough guy though, beating up a 90-year-old man. I mean, seriously.
It was.
Just let him fucking rot. You know.
Yeah, and it was like a mob hitman.
Yeah, Freddie Gias. Yeah.
Yeah, mob hitman from Boston or like outside of he ran. He wasn't buddies with Bulger, but Bulger. Listen, Whitey Bulger was also working with the FBI the whole time.
Yeah,
right?
he's a rat the whole time.
Bulger was snitching everyone else out to get protection. That happens all the time, man. Like I grew up.
That's how he escaped for so long. He got word.
Like when I was a teenager in the neighborhood I was in, I learned early like that. There was like a big scandal with the local cops in my neighborhood that they were busting like every coke dealer in like the projects, except one guy. And it was kind of ingenious. So what they did is they were basically the cops would shape they were real cops too. But it wasn't on the books. You know what I mean? Like the cops were showing up at like 2 a.m, fucking raiding people, taking the blow, and then giving it to another local dealer who was selling it. So they weren't even paying for the product. It was a pretty ingenious thing that they had. But people ended up dead and shit. Fuck. Like when it got exposed, people ended up dead. Like literally. Some crazy shit with the Saudi Arabia stuff too, guys. Yeah, I'm sure I just set off their keyword right now, but right behind me here. So we all know what happened with the guy in the embassy a couple of weeks ago. But right behind me here in the Hudson, just a couple of days ago, there was 2 Saudi women, man. They were thrown into the Hudson and murdered. Coincidentally, after they tried to get immunity here and not go back to Saudi Arabia. Like, I don't want to put 2 and 2 together here, but they're fucking out of control, these people, man. Like, they can get to you anywhere, too, evidently. Fuck, like, I'm going to end up in a fucking ditch in a swamp by the Meadowlands.
That's where...
Yeah, it was Little Burgundy, Tamara Perez. It actually was Little Burgundy. Yeah, it was. It was Little Burgundy. That's the neighborhood.
Now, who were these Saudis, these women? They were just...
I don't know. There were 2 like sort of rich Saudi chicks that came to America and didn't want to go back.
Damn, one was only 16.
Really, 16, huh?
Yeah, 16 and 24. 22, sorry.
Wow. Yeah. Bound and killed, thrown in the Hudson. Let me ask you, do you think that was a local New Yorker that did that? I don't.
No.
Why would they do that? Like, New York's not as crazy as people think. Like, if you
that's also quite like...
You go to the Crown Heights or the Royal Heights and shit, whatever, you know what I mean?
But to kill someone like that, it's pretty...
It was professionally done, obviously.
See, I don't agree with that. It seems pretty... I mean, it's very easy to find. I mean, you find 2 bodies it's floating in a fucking... low. That right behind you there, how low is that probably? There's a shoreline, isn't there? No? Doc?
God knows how many fucking bodies are in there, bro.
True. I know. It just seems like it'd be found easily. I don't know. You got to go out in the Meadowlands and throw them in like the fucking marsh.
I know, but it's like they don't care. They want the message out there.
They want people to know, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
If you fuck with us, you end up in the fucking Hudson.
Who do you think it would be, though? Like,
well, I don't want to say it because fucking we all know. We know who it is. Pretty obvious who it is. It's them. It's them. It's always been them. 9/11, like everything. Like, I don't know why the world lets this happen, but it is what it is.
We have honor killings in Albania. Actually, there's people talking about that on here. I don't think this. I mean, they could have. Who knows? Did they catch? No, they didn't catch people that did it.
They're not gonna catch them. They got immunity and shit. It was the same thing in Vegas. Fuck.
Probably the CIA, right?
I remember when I lived in Vegas, man. That Circus. There was some serious shit, man.
I heard about that. It was like a murder, right?
Kids and shit, and real crazy stuff. And LVPD showed up, And Buddy took off, and he hopped in, like he jumped, like he got to the airport. And once he was on the plane, it was tough shit. Like on the tarmac, he had diplomatic immunity and shit. And like Vegas police were pissed. Like they leaked it even after it got out. Normally they cover shit like that up, but they wanted to let it be known that, you know, like I said, these guys, they do whatever they want, wherever they go. It just, you know.
It says on ABC that they preferred suicide over returning to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Of course, fuck. I like that's what the media says.
Seems like a weird way to kill yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. Two teenage girls looking for freedom, right, in America.
It appears that the sisters stayed at a number of high-end hotels, ordered at least 2 meals a day, and went shopping. They recorded on surveillance video before they were found dead, looking to be in good health and not in distress, and their credit card was maxed out.
Crazy shit, man.
Very weird.
And no one's talking about it. Like, it's
I didn't hear about this until you told me.
No, I know. Like, it should be like, it's not rocket science what's going on here. Like, you know, like I said, you speak out and you're done. Like, it's pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
They buy everything. That's their little secret, right?
Look at that Khashoggi guy. Like, he gets murdered and it's okay.
What's that? Dude, the WWE is there today.
What do you mean?
The wrestling. They're holding some big, like event.
In Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Jesus.
This week. Now. Today.
I wouldn't.
You didn't hear about that. That's why, like, John Cena didn't go. He was like, I'm not going there. You fucking nuts. And John Cena knows about his brand and shit, right? He's like, I'm not doing that. And then Daniel Bryan, another big superstar, said, I'm not going there. So Hulk Hogan today. Hulk Hogan made his first appearance in the WWE since his racial incident. And they rolled him out in Saudi Arabia. And they had Undertaker today because, you know, they're big names and shit. But
they actually like wrestling over there?
Oh, yeah. I think it was in a stadium, like a soccer stadium.
Isn't that kind of indecent exposure over there? Doesn't seem like that would be allowed to be viewed.
No, I don't think they had the women. I believe the women aren't allowed to perform.
Sure.
I think it was all men. Like,
damn, Hulk Hogan's still around doing shit.
The thing is, the UFC went to Emirates, right. And United Emirates. They own 10% of the UFC, and the country does. The United Emirates owns
Dubai, right?
Yeah, 10% of the UFC, and they went there. And they had the Octagon girls and stuff. Like Dana White told them, listen, we can't cover up the Octagon girls. And they agreed to it. They're like, yeah, it's all right, you know?
Right.
Me personally, I would never go to one of those countries.
I mean, I'd love to, but they're not safe for sure.
No, it's not. You know what? Like Qatar is safe, and United Emirates.
You just can't. Like, there's a lot you can't do.
They're way safe. Like, you know, United Emirates is way safe. Saudi Arabia is safe as long as you don't fucking talk shit about them. But what I'm saying is, yeah, like I'd end up getting arrested. You know, like it's very easy to like offend them and
and you get arrested, you're in fucking Saudi jail or something.
Yeah, no shit, bro. Like fucking like, and the thing is, they encourage British tourists go there all the time to United Emirates because they got the beaches and high end shopping.
Remember we were talking about that with the World Cup?
Yeah. So they want like British people to go there, but British people go there and then they end up getting arrested for being drunk in public and shit. Right? Like, you know, like they serve alcohol in hotels only. So they tell you, listen, you can get drunk here, but you can't get drunk and like walk around the street. You get drunk in the hotel with the other foreigners. Fuck. Mm-hmm. You know, like, dude, there was a story, and this happened in in United Emirates. The supposed progressive free world. Hey, come shopping and go to the beach here. The guy was a professor. The guy was a drunk professor from England. He was there working. He was in a local bar. And he fell off the stool. I guess like he wasn't like wasted, but like he sort of fell over a bit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As he was falling, he reached out to sort of like break the fall. And as he did, he touched another man.
Yeah.
he got charged with like sodomy or whatever. Like,
Yep. I think I remember you telling me about that.
yeah, like he got charged for like sexually, like, whatever. And there was witnesses that said no, like he didn't do. Like his buddy was having a drink, the stool sort of tipped, and he made contact with somebody as he fell. Like,
Right.
And he got arrested. Like, what kind of fucking country is that?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Like, seriously, like I don't go to countries like that. Same thing with like Cuba. Like Cuba, beautiful country, beach. Canadians can go there. Americans, it's boycotted, right? We can't go, but you can go from Canada. So a lot of Canadians go to Cuba and they love it and they have a great time. But, usually there's about one big men end up don't coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they have a rule there in Cuba that if you're a foreigner and you get in a car accident, you can't leave the country. Like it's like crazy shit, man. Like, shit goes wrong. Like Dominican Republic, that's why I don't go there. Dominican Republic, the cops will just take your money and like hold you hostage.
Yep.
They'll just tell you, listen, give us $500 or you're going to jail.
Yep. And you got to.
Yeah, like Mexico, that can happen, but it's not everywhere in Mexico. Mexico's pretty safe. Like Mexico has a bad reputation, but I've been to Mexico. I've never really.
I mean, I think as long as you don't act like an asshole anywhere you go, you'll be all right.
Yeah, you don't go into the fucking cartel's neighborhood. You know what I mean? But
yeah, and start. Yeah.
Like in Mexico, it doesn't do them like the cartels and all these people. They want to sell drugs to tourists.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't want to kill you.
Tourists are good for business, man.
Exactly, and it's bad if people get whacked, but
it's like in this country. If you go to an area and act stupid, you're gonna get beat the fuck up.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. If we talk about all these other countries being dangerous.
No, but seriously, if you go down to the
Miami, let me tell you, like it's not.
If you go down to the South Bronx right now and walk through the hood, and you act like an asshole.
Hey, you saw it, dude. They beat that guy to death on the street. Remember a few months ago in the Bronx street? They just pulled him out of the street.
In the store, you mean? Yeah, they did. He wasn't even the right guy.
And killed him on the street.
Yeah, they knifed him to death. He wasn't even the right guy. It was like 50.
Oh yeah, shit can go bad in the Bronx fast, man. I wouldn't walk around there like I did when I was younger. I wouldn't do it now. I'm not done.
It's not your percentage of something happening to you is quite high. I mean,
Yeah, like, dude, like right now on a Friday night, I wouldn't want to be hanging out one of those bodegas around like some boy's corner and shit. They're
especially if you're not from around there,
That's what I'm saying, man. They don't know you. They're like, who's this guy?
I remember the first time I ever got beat up. It was because I was in the wrong neighborhood, and that they didn't take kindly to that. And they beat me the fuck up.
They didn't take kindly to it.
No, I got fucking socked in the back of the head, and as far as I know it, I'm just getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I was a kid, it was the same way. I remember I got fucking attacked as I fucking crossed the tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta stay.
Exactly.
You gotta stay where
you're not supposed to be here, kid. Bam! I got fucking kicked in the face with a fucking steel toe boot and shit.
Yep. You gotta stay where you're from, bro.
Yeah, I remember my mother warning me too. Don't go on the other side of the track.
No.
And no, the pole I did. All for a chocolate bar. There was one store that had a chocolate bar I liked when I was a kid.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to get that chocolate and get the fuck home.
Yeah. See, my bro got done in Dominican for having the wrong visa. They threw him in jail for 2 days and dumped him in Cuba with only his passport. That's what I'm saying. I stick out in these places too. Costa Rica is pretty cool. The cops don't screw with you.
And if you think the U.S. is going to come help you out, I mean, they may or may not. I mean,
no. They don't, dude.
Look at Tony from Five Dimes. You think the U.S. is going to do anything about that?
No. He was a criminal to them.
Yeah, they hate him.
Exactly. If anything, dude, I guarantee you right now, that's the thing too. And I'm just going to say it. It's like people said a lot of, ghoulish things and stuff about him and the whole situation. But I know their book is going, but I was thinking the same thing after. I was thinking, you know what? The feds just heard about this. An American got killed. They know all about this. They're going to say, you know what? Let's just take the money now because we know we had a shit.
Well, the thing is, though, I would imagine a bigger book would buy them, I would think. A book will come in like.
Yeah, well, they could buy the sheet and the customers, I hear you saying.
Yeah, and just take it over,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't necessarily be putting money there.
To be honest, too, the government, and they don't really care as much as people think. They do and they don't. It's like if you don't advertise, you're fine. You know what I mean? There's companies. That's the whole thing. Like if you come out and you have ads on TV and the radio and you're trying to, pimp this book everywhere and shit, like you'll notice a lot of the sort of books that take action in the States, they don't really advertise. They don't do the radio hits and shit and TV.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, only one.
MyBookie.ag will do a TV ad because, they're in Costa Rica. Fuck, they don't give a shit. Like they don't care. Like if someone doesn't like it, but like, so they're sort of, they have a license, they're legal. So it's like, whatever, we're not breaking any law here. But like, there's other books that they know they're breaking the law. Right. So like, yeah, no, we don't advertise. And like, I remember once in Montreal, it was really stupid. I knew that everyone too. It's funny. I did a road rage, but I'm not going to go through the whole story, but long story short, man, it was what a punk kid. This kid fucking in Montreal, he went to the fucking cops and the news because he lost money to a bookie. Huh. Like they didn't even threaten to kill him. Fuck. He just like wimped out. You know what I mean? He racked up a big debt and he was like, I'm scared. These people.
Well, you know what? They actually did that here in Philly.
So then we went to the cops and they basically, and the kid like ratted everyone out. Like he said, they're at this bar every night. They meet here on Fridays to collect and whatever. And so he gave the whole 9 yards and he's like, I told the cops and the cops fucking didn't do anything. So then the news like went to the police station. Like they ambushed the chief type thing, like not the chief of police, but like the sergeant of the district. Like, and the cop was pissed, fuck. Like, he's like, I never forgot what he said. It was funny. He goes, listen, I got a lot of things to do, all right? And he goes, someone betting on sports really isn't high on my list. Huh. And then they were like, well, it's illegal, isn't it? And he said, it's a victimless crime. He said, who got hurt? He said, no one got hurt. He goes, no one got hurt. He goes, I don't know. And he goes, people make their own decisions. Like basically the cop, it was funny. Like the cop was cool. He goes, basically, if you want to bet on sports, hey, it's not my issue. I don't care.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah. So the kid sort of got thrown up to dry. And then I even knew the other people that he owed the money to and that they were even madder. And someone told me, they were like, Morency, the kid only owed like $6,000 or something. Like they were like, he didn't even get threatened. He was basically told, kid, come up with the money. You know what I mean?
Well, that happened in Philly, actually, back in the 80s with the mob here. Some kid at LaSalle racked up a big bill and went to the cops about it, and they wired him up and ended up they ended up bringing down. That was one of the ways they brought down a couple of guys in the Philly mob back in the day.
What a rat kid.
Yeah, he literally
like twice. You lost the money, pay the bet after. If it takes you a while to pay it off. Like
it wasn't even a ton of money either. It was like a couple thousand,
Yeah, it's amazing. Some kids will just panic over like. Trust me, no bookie's killing anyone over.
Well, not for nothing. I'll admit, Gabe, these people, the guys he was not paying, I mean, they would probably beat him, like break his legs. Like these were dangerous people. So he had a right to probably be scared a little bit. But
yeah, but breaking your legs, whatever. If you're really screwing people, that is what it is. Same shit. Like I know I've been around that shit for a long time, and I knew there was one kid, man, and he never learned his lesson, man. Like he always was late and all, you know what I mean? He bet over his head.
Sure.
And he finally upset them. And, put it this way, he didn't feel good for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the problem with
they didn't throw him in the water,
well, you can't, because then if
they want the money.
You can't pay if you're dead,
Exactly. And then they don't want to be, no one wants to go to get investigated for murder, over a gambling debt, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not, it's not the movies.
Nah, you keep the cops away.
Yeah, and you're not going to owe enough money. Like it's not the movies where, like, I know in some cities people get killed for $200 and shit, but bookies aren't killing people. I would say that basically you need to get into that sort of 100K roll.
Yeah.
You owe someone $78,000. I can see you getting whacked in South Philly. You know what I mean? I could, you could get whacked for that. Like if they realize we're not getting our money, fine.
Right.
Like I said, it's dude, I lived in LA, big man, and I was young and I was betting, and there was pretty much the craziest dudes we ever dealt with. I was told, they were like, dude, they were like, fucking, whatever you do, you got to pay these guys. Like, and basically I was warned. They're like, they're not balanced. They're nuts. They were like Vietnamese fucking, it was out of this bowling alley in downtown LA, and they were fucking nut jobs, bro. Like they would attack each other and shit. Like Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
Nah, the Asian gangs are tough, man.
Oh yeah, you don't mess with them.
Nope.
But like you said, so the bodega scene though is kind of interesting because there's no credit, right? So you're just going in there.
Yeah, the bodega scenes around here just got popped about a month ago.
There's a bodega scene here too.
Oh, it's great, man. Those are the best places.
I know. I was talking to a guy. I said, "Where do you play?" And he said, the store." So you know what I mean.
You got to know people though. You got to get introduced.
Yeah. But like you said, you never worry though. You never know when those places are.
Yeah, but the problem with those places also is they don't put the lines out to the day of. I mean, it's
this guy in the chat saying $500 on the street gets you fucking pop. No, it doesn't. By who?
I don't know where you're from, dude.
Yeah, like what do you think this is? Fucking an 80s fucking Ice-T movie?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, $500 to get you whacked in San Quentin and cell block D. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, like you hear these random stories.
You think people want a murder charge for $500?
No, you're gonna have to pay someone a lot more than that.
I mean, I'm not saying that people don't rob people and people don't get killed for way less money and stuff, but bookies in general, guys, they're not whacking people. Like I said, it's very, very rare. And in fact, in Toronto, where there's a lot of people that gamble, the only people that got whacked is these cocksuckers owed. Some of these guys owed like big time bookies money, like $250,000 type thing. And instead of paying them, they just killed the bookie. They went the other way. They reversed it, which is pretty stupid as well. Because they got arrested after. It's like, you guys are fucking morons. They did it on the street too. Like they shot the guy like in a car. It's like there's cameras everywhere in Toronto. Like fucking, people do stupid things though. You can't, you know. I was thinking about that today. I saw a bunch of cops on the corner. I was looking at, and I was like, it's fucking being a cop in New York must be pretty crazy actually, because people do crazy things. You know?
Oh yeah. No, it's huge too. A lot of things going on.
What's up, Sonny Vega? Sonny's kicking it with all the lovely ladies. At the Exotica. I'll call you tomorrow, Sonny. We'll see if we can hook up after the UFC, but it's just Edison's so far. And it's just hard for me to get around back and forth, especially late. All right.
Settle down, Crispy.
So it is a little late.
Crispy, no one murders people for $500. Get a fucking grip.
Yeah, well, Chris P's about to get murdered. You just been fucking shanked, motherfucker.
Get the guns out.
There you go. There you go.
I get a kick out of that.
Yeah, I haven't kicked anyone out tonight, so he's the first one out. It's been a troll-free night tonight.
Crypto Boss says, who bets with the bookie anyway? I do. I still have locals. I think they're great.
All right, listen, guys. We're not interested in your smart-ass fucking comments here tonight, all right?
He got balgered. Mangler. Whiteyed out.
The timing was just great, though.
Settle down, Shy Picks.
He's like, you gone.
He gone.
That's the best. No one gets murdered. Yeah, you do. You're gone.
That gun sound is great, man.
Yeah, you know he'll be back.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point by Vig Simon. You didn't see it earlier? The Pitt player, I don't know if that is what he was trying to do, but it did look like he was trying to shoot a machine gun. I did see that, Vig. That was weird. I thought.
Yeah. So you know what? I saw the kid, the Pitt player, get kicked out for the targeting. I didn't see that celebration. So.
Well, no, he made an interception and he went like this, like with a gun.
Do it. Let me see.
He was like he's like,
oh, get like a fucking.
I'm like, what the fuck? Did I just see that or no?
Especially, dude, you play for the Pittsburgh Panthers, right? Like, you're right. Like,
yeah, you might want to settle down with that.
Yeah, I doubt the kid's like some supremacist that was, I think is.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. And then Narduzzi acts like, oh, that shouldn't have been. They gave him a penalty for it. Narduzzi didn't know why they gave him a penalty.
No, they kid.
Narduzzi's like,
let me check. I got to check on the Pitt celebration.
Yeah, I wonder if someone saw that too.
I'm sure it's on
Twitter, sure.
Twitter would be blowing up though if the kid. All right, here it is. Yeah, here's the guy on Twitter. Fucking who's this guy? This guy says a Pitt player doing a machine gun celebration. Pretty classy.
It was weird.
This other guy goes laughing my ass off. Pitt just got called for fucking doing a machine gun celebration.
I don't know why it's so funny, but it was just so weird.
This guy's like, he goes, I might be the only one in the world that just noticed this, but did the Pitt defender just celebrate a big play by mowing everyone down with a machine gun? He plays for Pittsburgh. People like, yeah. Here's another kid. I don't know why Pitt are surprised. They just got a flag for a fucking. He goes,
that's so funny.
This guy, I'm just reading random tweets. He goes, I'm not sure how Pitt is surprised they got an excessive celebration penalty. They were celebrating for 15 seconds after the interception, and then they started an imaginary machine gun celebration.
That's what I was fucking thinking.
Did I just see a Pitt machine gun celebration? Poor taste, man. This other guy, dumbass Pitt players.
Narducci's acting like he's had no idea why they got a penalty.
There's a woman. This machine gun celebration is deeply unsettling. Be better, Pitt. You were disgusting. Twitter's blowing up, man. You have to be kidding me, Pitt. Have you lost your fucking minds? This kid, it's probably not a good idea to pretend you're shooting a semi-automatic weapon after you intercept a pass when you play for the Pittsburgh Panthers.
I thought I was the only one that saw it, and then I guess people didn't.
Oh, here, no. Now here it is. It's getting picked up by the media. All right, here it is. City of Pittsburgh has endured an incredible tragedy. All right, here it is. I got a video. After a big pass breakup in the fourth quarter, Damari Mathis appeared to celebrate by imitating a shooter with a machine gun. All right, let's see. Holy fuck. I'm in shock, big man. I'm looking at this. Yeah, he did it. He clearly, yeah. He's like,
unless it's like some kind of dumb dance or something.
Yeah, he's probably going to say, no, I was, like you said, he's kind of like this. He's like, yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, is he doing a weird dance? But no, he's a brother. He's got rhythm. He knew exactly what he was doing. He did this. No, that's 1,000% a machine gun celebration.
Yeah, I remember watching it live, and I'm like, dude, that looked totally like a machine gun.
This guy is saying too, he goes, I don't think he was doing it out of malicious intent, but I don't know. Yeah, bad look.
Looks like he's holding an AK-47. He's just shooting it.
Very bad look. Like, what the hell was this kid like?
I don't know. It just gets emotion, you know? Probably didn't think about
it.
And then that fucking lineman in the CFL, did you see that, Gabe?
Sam says he's not letting the terrorists win. All right, let's stop joking about this and move on.
Did you see that guy in the CFL?
What did he do?
Some CFL lineman after touchdown runs up to like the fans and like grabs a beer and just starts drinking it and pours it all down his helmet. Look it up, Gabe, on fucking, it's some guy on the Rough Riders.
CFL's the best.
Watch it.
Oh, here, CFL beer, all right.
Like,
he's on Ottawa.
Are you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You can't drink a beer in the middle of a football.
What the hell is he doing?
You can't do that. Fucking. He drank it for real.
Yeah. He like pours it down his fucking. He's like,
it's not fake.
No, he's like,
at the end of the game. Like, what did someone in the chat tell me? Someone in the chat tell me, when did this happen at the end of the game?
I don't think it was at the end of the game.
If I'm the coach, I'm like, bro, that was funny, but you can't do that. Like even me, which even me, I'm like, you can't drink a beer in the end zone, big man. Like,
There was it was in the third quarter.
so what? This guy played buzzed after. You got to get a buzz from crushing that beer like that.
There was 34 seconds left in the third quarter.
He's a big dude, and it was a fucking Coors Light. No, it's a Coors Banquet. I've never seen that in my life. That's the best celebration I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I'd like my money back for that beer you drank, dude.
A good point. Fucking paid $12 for it. Imagine if you had money on the other team, bro.
They give me my fucking beer money.
He scores a touchdown, you don't cover the spread, and he takes your beer out of your hand and chugs it.
It's a double whammy.
I'd be suing. I'd be like, you cocksuckers assaulted me and took my
I'd be like, hey, Usher, I'm going to get my nut beer, right?
They're showing other Ottawa have some pretty good celebrations. The thing in the CFL is you're allowed to do whatever you want in the end zone, but
What would happen in the NFL if someone did that?
Roger Goodell would probably suspend you.
Kick you out of the league.
Like the NFL is a no fun league. Let me tweet this out. Holy fuck.
It was a Mill Street Organic.
Oh, Mill Street. All right. That's what I thought. I was going to say that actually too. Yeah, the Coors Banquet's the same thing. The yellow and the only like this. All right. So, it's getting late here already. Holy shit. Time flies. Great show here tonight. You know it's a good show when time flies.
We can do it in 5 minutes.
So, what do you got for tomorrow? What are you looking at? And don't forget, you can check out Big Man's picks over at rightwager.com. Tough college game. There's some spots I like tomorrow. That Alabama LSU game will get your take. You get the Michigan game, the big games there. I think Florida is too much for Missouri in the spot. I think Memphis beats East Carolina. And I really want to take Kentucky. Fuck, I want to take Kentucky.
You love Kentucky.
Dude, they've been great to me.
No,
I never take them when they're favorites. They're 4-4 against the spread. I think I'm 4-0 with these guys.
Yeah.
We're getting these points, but I know Georgia's better than they are, but Kentucky just keep finding a way every week.
I think we have a nice little gem out in the Mountain West with Wyoming. Going to be very poor weather conditions, Gabe. 25-mile-an-hour winds, 30 degrees. Wind chill is going to be poor. San Jose, Gabe, San Jose has the worst run offense in the last 5 years in the country. They're averaging about 2 yards a carry. They can't throw the football because of the weather. I think Wyoming could shut them out, frankly.
Really?
I think it kind of reminds me of that first game, Gabe, when we were out in Vegas. Remember Wyoming just handled New Mexico? I think it's kind of similar to that game.
So Wyoming, that's the one that catches your eye, huh?
Yeah, I like that. I like Florida International over FAU.
That's interesting. I was actually thinking about a little bit about FAU, but I know it hasn't been a great year. It's been a bad year for FAU, but should FIU be favored, you think?
I think they should. I mean, they're at home. I think they're actually a pretty good team. They're really good on defense. I
didn't really realize they were 6-2.
Yeah, they have a good quarterback. I really like I really like this team playing good football.
Butch Davis done a great job. Last year he did a good job there, but Kiffin got all the hype because they were flashier. But you're right, he's building a solid foundation here. A lot of people thought because they lost that quarterback, he wasn't really that great anyways, that quarterback they had last year, FIU.
Yeah, they have this kid, he used to play at Bowling Green, James Morgan. He's pretty good. I like Army. I think they beat Air Force. I think they cover also.
Yeah, Army. What's the spread of that one?
6.5.
Army are a good team. Really turned that program around, Munkin.
Wanted to ask you quickly about this. Why is Stanford getting 10 points against Washington? What's that all about?
Yeah, and Washington never pulled away from anybody.
They just lost last week to fucking Cal.
Yeah, I know. What was the game you just mentioned before?
Army.
Yeah, Army, yeah. What about the total there? It's just too low now. It's too bad, isn't it? I know earlier in the week it was higher. I guess the sharps jumped in on it right away. The early bettors, the bigger bettors. And You know, when military academies play against each other, guys, when Army plays Navy, Navy, Air Force, Army, Navy, Air Force against each other, 24-6 to the under. 24-6 to the under the last 30 times. There's been a couple of pushes too. So 24-6-2, I think it is.
Yeah, we were.
Because it's all running. It's tick, 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 tick running. They both know each other's style. So they're not really running wild on each other either. Like normally these military academies, they're low to deal with for regular teams because they're persistent. They're in shape. They don't quit. They just run hard like for 3.5 hours. Even Sam Garnes was telling us that the other day. He played college and in the NFL, and he said he hated playing military teams. He said they just don't stop. Like it's 3.5 hours of aggression.
Time of possession is always.
Yeah. So, but when they play each other, it's a lot of ticking and the games go under. But it's only 42 points now, big man. It's just too low.
Yeah, these teams hate each other. If you know anything about Air Force, the Navy and the Army look down on Air Force. They almost feel
Army
that
and Navy have a respect for each other. They're rivals, but they'll go drink after.
Yeah, they don't like
both. Look, they don't like the fly boys. They think that the fly boys don't get their hands dirty, right?
Exactly, and I think Army's just a little in games like this. You have to look for little things, intangibles. Third down, you're getting off the field. Can you make a throw? I think Army's a better football team. At home here, it's a tough trip. I kind of like I like the Army here.
The Black Knights.
Yeah. And I, look, I think you mentioned that Memphis game. Why not just go over? I mean, both those teams are going to score. Memphis can't stop anybody. I mean, it's pretty ugly.
Early in the game, we got Michigan State and Maryland. That game's at noon. They're both 5-3 right now.
Yeah, I don't.
What a week for Maryland, man.
I don't want any part of Maryland.
Like I don't like. How does if Michigan State loses this game? That's pretty embarrassing. I think. Like D'Antonio, you gotta beat. I mean, fuck, they've had 2 different coaches this week, for the love of God. They've had coaches come back, messes, players walking out. The dean's been fired or stepped down. Like, it's a shit show over there this week.
The punter got beat up, too. Someone beat the punter.
Yeah, that's right. The punter. You're right. I forgot to bring that up.
And it was a fan, or it was another player. Another player beat him up.
Supposedly, it was the other punter.
Yeah, I don't want any part of Maryland.
They basically said, and there was a rumor that the punter, the backup punter on Maryland, there was a rumor that he got beat up, and he claimed it too. And it's on video. We haven't seen the video, but he got beat up pretty good. I guess like a bunch of players like beat the shit out of him.
Well, he's also supposedly like a pathological liar, though.
Yeah, so that's the thing. He said, "Oh, I got beat up because they think I'm a snitch and they think I'm the one that was like fucking reporting what was going on at practices and stuff." And man, you never see this, but I was on Twitter last night. A bunch of kids, I felt it was weird, like watching like high school, all these young kids on Twitter. But basically, to a man, all these Maryland Terrapin players were on Twitter, like tweeting at their teammate, saying, "You're full of shit, dog."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they're like, "You're full of shit, man." They said, "This has nothing to do with the coaches. This has to do, what it has to do with." And everyone, like white guys, black guys, they were all standing together on it. Like, I saw a bunch of the white kids tweeting on the team saying, "It's bullshit. You're full of shit. You know what happened." And the brother kid said, "Man, don't be lying like this. And you know what happened." And basically the real deal is, I guess this kid is actually a fucking bully and he fucking picked on someone. I guess he fucking fought or he did something to someone and they said, "You picked on someone for the last time," and they fucking as a team beat him up. Mm-hmm. But what kind of operation are they running over there, dude?
Yeah, it's a complete mess.
Like, what kind of operation is going on over there? You got fucking kids fighting. They got like some weird thing going on amongst teammates and fucking coaches. It's insane. Like, they almost need a chill out, like, but of course they're football. So they're above the fray.
Yep. But they're not going to be bet on by me.
No. So yeah, it's Michigan State or past there. Louisville and Clemson is 38.5, too high. Texas A&M and Auburn. Oh, that's a weird game. Fuck. Air Force Army we talked about. Memphis, East Carolina, you talked about not the over. Rutgers, Wisconsin, 28. Wisconsin probably covered, to be honest. Wisconsin's not a great team this year, but you notice they've been killing the bad teams, and then they lose to the good team, right?
38-3 or something.
Yeah. If you had to bet that game, I'd lay the 4 touchdowns.
Oklahoma, Texas. Tech's an interesting one.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Your boy Kingsbury. I was talking earlier about liking Oklahoma. I like the over. There's going to be points, but I was thinking about Oklahoma.
Yeah, 2 games tomorrow, there are going to be points in Wake Forest, Syracuse, and that game. Wake Forest, Syracuse, I mean, both those teams, Gabe, are like top 5 in plays run per game. I mean, they're just hyper speed. I mean, you have a total close to 80 in that game.
A game that I haven't talked about this much actually this week is it's kind of slipped through the cracks for some reason is Notre Dame and Northwestern. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me thinks that Northwestern can beat them outright. It's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be really close. And then another part of me thinks Notre Dame just pulls away and fucking beats them down. It's almost like a home game. Like Notre Dame is so comfortable in Chicago. You know, that's their main city. You know, they're in South Bend, but it's not Indianapolis. It's like Chicago is almost like Notre Dame's hometown. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have much in this one. It's a tough one. I could see it either way. I mean, we know Northwestern's good against the spread, but I don't know. I don't have much on it.
10 points. I'm going. I lean with Northwestern, but I've been burnt betting against Notre Dame a couple of times this year. But you know, Northwestern stumbled out of the gate early, guys, but they're starting to get their shit together a little bit. It's a big time game. We got UCLA and Oregon. Ducks are laying 10. Chip Kelly returns. I'm kind of thinking that the Ducks blast them here, to be honest. Here's the other one, too. Louisiana Tech. Why are they getting 23 to 24 points?
I have no idea.
They lost by 19 to LSU a couple of weeks ago. Why? Well, Mississippi State have been overrated by the odds makers all year long, bro.
Yeah, I don't get that one either. La Tech are pretty good. They covered against LSU a few weeks ago, kind of in a random spot that's in the middle of the season. Mississippi State has Alabama on deck. Kind of a weird one. I don't get that number at all.
Yeah, I'm taking Louisiana Tech. That's at 7:30 tomorrow night. Alabama and LSU. What are you doing with this one?
Alabama rolls 38-17.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I think Alabama will roll.
Too many weapons for Alabama.
I like the over a lot too. It's gone down 53.5 now. I think it'll get there. It'll you know, maybe just barely, but it'll get there. I like that ballpark. I was talking about it last night. Like Alabama 45-21. Mm-hmm. You know, 41-24. Fucking
38-17 gets you there.
38-17. You know, whatever in that group exactly. Should get over the number, and Bama should cover the number. Oklahoma, shit, I didn't realize it was 13.5 now, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't be laying the 13.5, but
I kind of like the dog in that game. A shootout could be like a 51-45 type of game.
Yeah, I just got to go over that game. That's what I said earlier. The play's the over 78. I once lost $15,000 taking Texas Tech against Oklahoma on a Saturday night. Not the type of thing you forget.
Sure. No.
Michael Crabtree was on Texas Tech at that time. You know what's crazy? Kingsbury was probably the fucking quarterback.
Yeah, he was fucking you back then too.
I put 10,000 on Texas Tech and like 5,000 on the over or something. I was all drunk with Cam. I remember calling the bet in an alley. Fuck. That's the night the Hamilton Tiger Cat players were betting with us. They never fucking paid either. Never take a bet from a CFL player. Fuck. Stanford and Washington, 10.5. So you're thinking Stanford's where to look there. I'm scared of that game.
I don't get that price at all.
Normally I have a good read for Stanford. I really don't this year, but you're at Washington are only 2-7 against the spread. They're horrible favorites, Washington. USC are a shit show too. I'm not sure they can win by 16 at Oregon State.
Over.
San Diego State, New Mexico. New Mexico's plus 10.
By the way, dude, New Mexico is terrible. They're awful, that team. They got boat race last week at Utah State. They're terrible, New Mexico.
Wow, Hawaii are getting 18.5.
Yeah, I'm stepping in front of Utah State either. That team is a fucking train.
7-1 ATS. I guess their only loss is that game against
they're scoring like 50 points a game, bro.
Total 71. Got to go over the number in that one. I think you're gonna have a big night tomorrow. Actually, I like a lot of these night games. Oh, and you got your boys, Mike Leach and company, laying 9.
Lay it. They should be in the playoff talk.
I can't. You know what's gonna sound crazy? I can't disagree. It's like rarely, bro, that I'm on you. They're 8-0 against the spread. That's crazy shit.
You hate Wazoo.
I know they're 8-0 against the spread. It's not like I've lost a lot betting against them this year. I've only gotten in front of them once or twice, maybe once.
They're the only undefeated spread team in the country.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, they ain't running the table with the spread, but they should be able to beat Cal.
Their quarterback should be in the Heisman talk.
Yeah, the Minshew guy, Gardner Minshew. Yeah, the guy is just me. Looks like he's like 30 years old, with the helmet on, the mustache and shit.
Oh yeah, it seems like he's been there for. I mean, he was at East Carolina before. It seems like he's been a quarterback for like 7 years.
Yeah, no, he's good. You're right. They should be in the playoff conversation. The way they're playing, you can't. Who was their one loss to?
Fucking USC.
Oh yeah.
The thing about them too is like, what hurts them is like that the Pac-12 sucks. I mean, like Colorado beating them. If you beat them, it's not a great win. Beating Washington now, it's not as great.
Yeah,
kind of a shitty conference.
All right.
What do you think of Penn State?
Oh yeah, you know what? Normally, I've been saying all year that I don't think Michigan are good favorites in this spot, but they actually have been this year.
Yeah, but at home they're fucking great, man.
I know. Like I could sort of, I could see Michigan winning. I said earlier in the week it's gone up a bit, but I was sort of thinking Michigan by 13.
Yeah, I mean the last time Penn State lost by double digits was 2 years ago in Michigan.
Michigan.
49-10.
Man, since Penn State came in, remember in the early days, even when it came into the Big Ten, Michigan owned these guys.
Yeah, I think they will here.
Michigan doesn't own a lot of, look, so last year, and it's a revenge spot, last year Penn State blasted them 42-13 in Penn State. The year before, Michigan beat them 49-10.
This team, Penn State's a complete fraud. I mean, complete fraud.
The year before that, Michigan won 28-16. So look, 3 years in a row, we've had double digits. So 3 years in a row, there's been double-digit margins between these two teams. So you're not big on Penn State, but I don't hate Mike Leach. I don't really like him that much, but you really hate James Franklin, don't you?
I really hate Penn State and James Franklin, yes. If I saw James Franklin, I'd beat him the fuck up. I hate him. I hate Penn State as an organization and school as well. And I have a soft spot for Michigan this year. I have a lot of futures on this team. I love Shea Patterson. I think they're among the best teams in the country on defense. I think they're going to run all over Penn State. I mean, Gabe, look at Penn State's schedule. Seriously. They almost lost to App State. They beat Pittsburgh, Kent State, Illinois. They almost lost to Iowa and Indiana. And they lost to Michigan State as well. This team sucks. They're not that good.
They can't be good teams. You're right.
No, they're they're not the 14th ranked team in the country. What kind of bullshit is that?
You know what it was? It was Saquon Barkley carried their ass, man.
Yeah, look at all the players.
They look better than he was.
Yep.
Franklin's decent. He's not as good as he thinks he is, but people don't realize how good. Like Penn State, they're on TV, but people don't really like them. So it's like only Penn State fans really watch Penn State games. And
they're delusional fucking people up there.
Yeah. I have no problem with their players, but I don't like their fans. We want Joe and they want the fucking stats to be back. Like they're not remorseful. Like they're obnoxious. You're right. Penn State fan. Well, you would know. You're in Pennsylvania even.
Yeah, they're complete assholes.
Yeah. Very arrogant, obnoxious. You're right. It's an obnoxious program.
Totally.
They recruit pretty well from this area though. Like a lot of their players are from New Jersey and shit.
Hey Gabe, listen to this. The last time a Penn State defeated a ranked Michigan team in the Big House was in '96 when Curtis Enos and Joe Jaravicius, which I remember that game, led the Nittany Lions to a 29-17 win.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like Michigan, I remember I wasn't concerned when Penn State came in, but they were still good in those days. Well, they were good, with Paterno, whatever. And I remember I was like, fuck, man. Michigan's schedule was already hard enough. Now we got to deal with Penn State too. And I remember I was pleasantly surprised. We owned them. I was like, all right, whatever. And then there's been flashes where they'll beat us and shit, But I'm looking here at the history, and really the only run Penn State had is sort of when Michigan was down with the Brady Hoke and Rodriguez years.
Yep, that shitty era. Yep.
Yeah. All right, big man. So what's your plan tomorrow? You're on in the morning?
Yeah, we'll be on in the morning. We'll try to hit every game. Gabe, I'll be giving you guys a soccer play towards the end of the show here. Last week,
oh yeah, you held it last week, yeah.
4-0 or 4-0. It was an easy winner. I'm going to give you 2 this week. We're going to go to the Premier League. We're going to take Leicester to beat Cardiff. I've told you this.
Leicester's first game since the owner passed away,
yep.
Right?
Really like this game. They took a charter bus to Wales to play Cardiff. Didn't take a plane. Got out of Leicester. They've been training for a couple of days. Professionals generally respond in these situations, whether it's an individual or a team. It's very tough to find an instance where a team doesn't play up in games like this. Cardiff are one of the worst teams in the Premier League. Plus 120 seems like a great bet. I also like, this is my favorite game other than Leicester, League 2, England League 2. That's the 4th level of English football. I like Mansfield to beat Cheltenham. Mansfield minus 110 to beat Cheltenham. Mansfield minus 110 to beat
Leicester and Mansfield.
Correct. Leicester's in the Premier League, England League 2, Mansfield minus 110 to beat Cheltenham.
Nice stuff, big man. Nice stuff. And don't forget, you guys can check out rightwager.com for the weekend packages and the month and all that type of stuff. Babano.
I want to remind you also, Gabe, college basketball Tuesday. Very much looking forward to it. I'm taking Gabe, get this. You'll get a kick out of this.
Oh, it's next Tuesday. It's around the corner. Wow.
Right. So Temple plays LaSalle, Philly 5 matchup. I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'll take a listener for free. Who am I going to take? So I hit Brian Rowe up. I'm going to take Brian Rowe. Brian Rowe's going to meet me down at the game.
Oh, Brian Rowe's going to come down to Philly.
Yeah. Now listen to this text exchange between Rowe and I. You got to hear this. So he texts me, "Hey, big man, do I owe you anything for the ticket?" I said, "No." Then he lists 3 or 4 different parking garages in the area and which one he should pick. I said, "Well, I would just park on the street or Leah Course garage. I'll pay the 17. 3rd, 4th garage is a covered bridge with easy access to the Leah Course Center." I just respond, "Settle down, Brian Rowe." Like, this guy's like literally scoping out parking lots and what they look like. And
yeah, he's like Babano, except like on.
He is a lot like, yeah, he's very worried.
Ritalin. And yeah, Rowe, like this, I told Rowe, yeah, we're gonna hang out at the Rutgers game, Michigan next week. So,
oh yeah,
like, yeah, he keeps asking me for my phone number and like fucking
yeah.
And now he's like, yesterday he sent me a text or he sent me a tweet. "Do you know what section you're in yet?" I told him like 20 times. "You guys seen? Like, I'm going to the UFC tomorrow. Like, we'll get to Michigan next week. You know what I mean? Like, I'll deal with it next week." Like, I don't know how many people are going. And like, I think with Rowe is, I love Rowe too, Real House. We'll see you at the game. We'll have a good time. But don't, he keeps asking about this game. Big man, they haven't even announced the time yet for the game. So I keep telling him, "Bro, when they fucking announce what time the game is at, I'll know more. I got to make my plans. I'll know more when I know when kickoff is."
Well, he also says to me, he goes, "Well, hey, big man," he goes, "is it easy access to 95 from Leah Course Center?" I said, "It's not far." I said, "But you got to go into the city and it's up in North Philly." And he goes, "Well, I got to know that it's close to 95. And I said, "Dude, settle down, dude.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia. What do you want? You know what I mean?" Like, okay.
Yeah, you're going to come into the city and you're at the park.
Yeah, but how far is it from Philly from Jersey? It's like an hour and a half.
It's like near Trenton. No, not even. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so I don't know what he has. Yeah, exactly. He's
paranoid. He's super paranoid. That's one
thing. Oh yeah, he is. But I'm going to tell Rowe actually to hook it up. I'm going to say, scout out a good place for us to tailgate. You can scout out like the square foot.
Exactly. And he knows Rutgers. So.
Well, you know what, Rowe? It's a good idea. If you can, find us a tailgate where I can take pisses frequently.
I remember we were in Vegas. I remember he did this, Gabe. He starts showing everybody his tickets the one morning. He puts his tickets on the table and just walks away.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe he did that. He's so prepared, but he left his ticket on the table.
So I picked the tickets up, and I stole them, basically. And I walk up to him. I said, "Hey, dickhead, did you forget about these?" He's so sorry, big man. I'm like, yeah, dude, you got to be smart out here, man. Like, people are gonna steal your shit. Then he's telling me, remember, he was telling us about how someone stole something from him out on Fremont Street, and he hit some old guy or something.
Yeah, he said that someone tried to pickpocket him and he
Yeah,
ran away and he ended up bumping into some guy's wife.
yeah, knocked down some old lady or something. Can we get a Mick impression on the way out? I don't know if I should do that.
No, don't do it.
Which I don't know why he would get mad.
Who asked for that? Hold on, let me go in the chat. Who asked for that? Probably Bruce chat. Who did that?
Sean Robertson.
Sean Robertson. You're a troublemaker, Sean Robertson. No. You're just trying to cause trouble. No.
Settle down.
Make impressions. Settle down, Sean Robertson. Fucking Cub fan.
How those Cubs do this year? All right.
Yeah. No. Yeah, Sean Robertson's trying to stir the pot. Good. Nice attempt, Sean. It's very sport. It's very something I would do, but not tonight.
Yeah, settle down, Robertson. All right, Gabe.
All right, great stuff, man. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Cheers.
Yeah, Sean Robertson trying to fucking cause an international fucking incident. He's trying to cause an incident. He's trying to cause an international incident. Hey, Mick did a good job. Mick did a good job. He was on Carton and Friends. Mick did a good job. You know what's funny too is like the Carton crowd, like the YouTube chat. It's not as savage as this, but it's there. It actually is, to be honest. I don't know if it's me. It's just, I guess wherever I go, it's just craziness. So, and we usually, sometimes it's 300, but it's basically about 250 in that range, 250 to 300 people in the chat. So Mick comes on, and after I look in the chat, and people are like, "That guy's great. He should be on every week." It's like our Denver Bronco insider. Like, they ate it up. But like I said, yeah, Mick's the king of short doses. But the thing is, you guys know right now, like Mick checks the show. Mick checks the show, and Mick will scan the chat. How the hell do you remember last time? Big Man said something about Mick in a chat a couple of weeks ago. And Mick fucking saw it because he rewatches shit. And then YouTube saves the chat now. So Mick goes through the chat. So how you doing, Mick? Yeah, we'll get Mick on. I enjoy Mick's hits. We'll get Mick on, maybe next week. We've been giving picks all night, fuck. And we know you're a troll, so whatever. This guy, give picks. What the fuck do you think we were just doing for the last hour and a half? Yes. Fantasy, same shit. YouTube saves the chat. All right, so give me a minute and I'll come back with a couple of picks, but not because this guy asked. Yeah, we can get Earl on. I like Earl, but Earl always screws me every time. There's like we do a video thing. It's like I don't know why he does it, but it's impossible that he's always had the tech issues, right? It's literally been like 5 times over the last 2 years where he can't get the video to work supposedly, and we know he knows how to use the video. So he's like, "Oh, I can do the phone. I can do the phone." So for some reason, he seems to be insistent on not doing the video and whatever. I like, I'll do phone and shit, but, not if there's video. All right, we'll give you some picks on the way out. Yeah, Teddy just couldn't do the timing. So listen, I'm going to be on tomorrow morning, guys, at 10 o'clock on the Fantasy Sports Network with Joel Lisi and Rich Sermonello. And then tomorrow at 3 o'clock, guys, so a special 3 o'clock show. It's going to be real cool, man. We got Robin Black is actually hosting. So I'm just there sort of my picks, and, you know, I'm moving over a chair. So, like, it's the Robin Black hosting with me and Michelle, whatever. We're all hosting, you know what I mean? But I'll be there with my picks. Michelle will be there looking hot. Robin will be there fucking philosophically breaking down fights. And we've got John Anik coming in studio. John Anik in studio. We've got Mark Henry, Mark Henry, big-time trainer. Mark Henry. Gamblu's going to join us via Skype. And the guys from Middle Easy, my favorite MMA website, are coming down. We've never met face-to-face. So, yeah, the guys from Middle Easy are coming down. We'll get some pictures up, and you're free to join us if you're in New York. It's open to the public. There's a bar there. We're going to be hanging out after. I'll do the Patreon from there tomorrow night after. So for you Patreons out there, I'm sorry about last Saturday. I actually lost some people this month too, but I know it's the turnover, the first and shit. So they'll sign back up or whatever. But, you know, I'm going to the UFC tomorrow. So the way it's going to work, we'll do the show from 3 to 5. And then probably like from 6 to like 8 or something like that, you know, 6 to 8:30 or whatever. I don't want to go to the UFC too early anyways. It's convenient. We'll be at the bar. We can watch the football game, Alabama and all that shit, and track our bets, get our bets in again, and head over to the fucking arena around 9 o'clock or so, you know, watch the fights. Yeah, next week we got some good shit. I'm looking here right now. We got this guy on. I don't know if if I say his name, you're not going to know who he is, but if you look up his face, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that guy. We got John C. McGinley on Monday. John C. McGinley. This guy's been in every movie, man. He was in a movie Any Given Sunday, 4th of July, Talk Radio, Wall Street, The Rock. He's the guy who's, was he on The Rock? No, my bad. He's not on The Rock. He was, I saw him as a psycho the other day in a movie. He's in every movie, this guy. I don't know why he's on our show, but I guess he's got something coming up. And we got Herman Moore. I'm looking forward to Herman Moore. We got Rashad McCants. I prefer the athletes, you know, but hey, what's up, Sonny? Are you going to come down tomorrow afternoon, Sonny? Are you going to come down tomorrow afternoon, Sonny, for the show or the UFC or whatever? I know you got to hang out there with Taylor and stuff. I'd like to get out there with you, but I got the UFC tomorrow. And I was saying earlier that maybe after the UFC we could get together, even go up for some drinks, but I can't get all the way out to Edison, and you guys got your own career. You guys got to do your thing. Yeah, it's gonna be like the old MMA Meltdown days. We got John Anik, Robin Black, Mark Henry, Gamblu, Middle Easy website guys are gonna be there. There'll be some drinks after. It's loose too. Like I'm not gonna get smashed on the air or anything. We'll have, you know, I'll probably wait till 5 actually after. But yeah, so after, like on a Patreon show, I'll have some drinks at the bar. I'll start drinking at like 6. Have some fucking Patreon drinks at the bar, and then head over to MSG. We'll have the games on down there, Sonny, too. Yeah, Robin's very polite to his fans, and Robin's a nice guy. Robin's a nice guy. All right, so let me fucking give you. All right, Michigan State and Maryland. I like Michigan State, but I'm not taking it. The kids out of Maryland have really shown resiliency a lot this year. They've already fought through so much, man. They seem to be sticking together, these kids. I'm not going to screw with them. And Michigan State aren't that good. So I'm going to pass on that game. As I told you earlier, Air Force and Army, these games always go under the number, but Army put up a lot of points, so I'm not going to mess with it at 42.5. It's too low. I don't really love the early games. I think Memphis probably beats East Carolina, but yeah, I can't lay that type of points. Rutgers and Wisconsin, it's 28. Rutgers fucking suck, man. Wisconsin will kill them. Wisconsin have had a frustrating year. They're only 2-6 against the spread. I can see them messing these guys up and taking some frustration out. I think Wisconsin will roll Rutgers. I'll tell you, man, Kansas Jayhawks have been battling this year. Fuck. I'm tempted to take them plus 16. But, we were talking. I gave you guys the big speech the other night about you can't just take things on a whim. But it seems like a lot of points. Kansas has been covering spreads. But like I said, these games didn't jump off the page at me. I like the late games tomorrow. It's weird. Like a lot of times it's by chance, really. Georgia and Kentucky, I want to take Kentucky, but I don't love it. It's tough. I don't really want to fuck with Georgia. I keep scrolling. Penn State, Michigan. I do like Michigan, but I'm a Michigan fan, and I'm just scared. I just want to win the fucking game and move forward here. We're close to making the playoffs. I don't want to screw this up. But Michigan should cover the number. They're going to win. Do they cover? They should. All right, so now we get to 4 o'clock. Now I start to like the games a little bit more. I think Florida are too much for Missouri. Fuck. Missouri's offense, they're 4-4, and it's less than a touchdown at Florida. We're 6-2. You're going into the swamp with Dan Mullen and shit. Florida are the real deal. They're good. Missouri's little pop gun offense won't work here. Florida are going to win. Florida are only like minus 225 or something on the money line too, or minus 240, minus 225. I think the Florida Gators are good money line parlay material too. Florida's not losing this game on their home field to fucking Missouri, and they're going to cover. I'm tempted to take Northwestern, but I'm a little scared. Notre Dame are really good. UCLA at Oregon, I think it's going to be a long night for Chip Kelly. The Ducks are going to take some frustration out. They're going to run the score up. I like Oregon. Now we get into the games I'm starting to like at nighttime here. Louisiana Tech and Mississippi State. Give me the underdog, man. I don't know why the number is 23.5. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mississippi State have been overrated all year long this year. You look at Louisiana Tech. They went in LSU. They hung with LSU. They were getting 20.5. It went all the way down to like 17 at kickoff. They ended up the number plummeted. They hung around in the game. They covered the original number. I think they lost by 18. They covered. It went from like 22 or 23 all the way down, whatever. But I remember they covered the number that night. Louisiana Tech get up for these SEC games. And Mississippi State just need a win. 23.5 is crazy. And it went up too, but people are betting it. Yeah, give me Louisiana Tech. I'm not fucking with Alabama. We've talked about this game a lot this week. I went over the numbers the other night. Alabama averaged 54 points a game, all right? So even if LSU are good and their defense is great and shit, how much are they really going to contain them to? And LSU only score 30 points a game, against average with other teams, not against Alabama. So I think LSU will score like 17 points or so, 20 points, 24 points, 17, 20, 21, 24. Alabama's defense have given up yards this year. So the thing is, LSU's offense isn't great, but the only thing is it's a hostile game for Alabama. It's their toughest game of the year. Like, they're going on the road here. Alabama played a pretty cupcake schedule so far, but that's what people are arguing. And I spoke to a lot of smart people this week who told me, wow, Alabama hasn't played anybody. It's like, really? You haven't learned your lesson, like, after fucking 12 fucking years of Saban and shit, that they haven't played anybody? Like, they're just better than everybody. Like, they are. They're the best team in college football. And it's not even close. Like, there's Alabama and then there's everyone else. It really is that way. So, LSU were 7-1, but if you look at LSU's schedule, it's been impressive, but a lot of close games and shit. I think Alabama drill them, and I like the over. I'm going to lay the points. It's going to go over. Remember, Alabama are 8-0 against the spread in the first half this year as well. And that's it. Those are the ones that jump off the page of me. I like the over in the Utah State-Hawaii game. The over in the Oklahoma-Texas Tech game. NFL football, I kind of like the card this week. I've kind of wavered a bit, but I like the card. The thing is, there's been a lot of line movement in the NFL this week. So, there's been numbers that have been moving that actually are key numbers. Normally, I don't panic about how point moves. I don't really care. But this week, there's been a lot of weird number moves. The Vikings are only -4 in these contests that I took them in. But in the real world, they're 5.5. That's a little different. It's a little different. I think there'll be points in this game. Detroit and Minnesota, I think it goes over. Over 49. I think Minnesota do cover, but I don't like it at 5.5, 6. It's too high. I just don't like laying favorites. It's not what I do. I do think it goes over. I don't love it, but I think it goes over to 49. The Chiefs are at the Browns. Browns have a new coach. I think, it's a weird game. Fuck. I think the Chiefs can actually cover the spread here. I think the Browns can cover the spread. The Browns are 5-3 against the spread. They're 2-5 straight up. But they've covered numbers this year, the Browns. Or 2-6, excuse me. No, they had a bye week, 2-5. So, 2-6. So they've had a bye week. The Browns have covered numbers, but these fucking websites and their fucking numbers are always wrong. I swear, all these sports gaming sites, they make so many mistakes. You got to double check. Whenever I'm on the air, I'm like, I can't trust these sites. And they're all good sites, but there's too much content and they just fuck up. The Chiefs are 7-1 against the spread, but I get the feeling that the numbers are getting a little high. And the Chiefs, we're at the time of the year now, guys, where teams just want to win. You know what I mean? Like Gurley said, I don't care about your point spread last week. We're getting to the point. These games are big. They're jockeying for playoff position. They're not really thinking about spreads and impressing anyone. No one's voting for them. They just need to win the game. KC could blow them out. I am not betting the game. I'm just going to stay away from it. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I like Pittsburgh. I don't love it. I like Pittsburgh getting to 3. I think Pittsburgh are the play at the 3, but Baltimore are a dangerous team. They're desperate. You got a wounded animal. The Jets and the Dolphins, I'm staying far the fuck away from it. Chicago and Buffalo, I really want to take the Buffalo Bills, but it's Nate Peterman. They just played on Monday night. But the Bears shouldn't be 10-point favorites against anybody anywhere, like I said earlier. Even if they're at home, fuck, they shouldn't be 10 like this. It's ridiculous. Tampa Bay at Carolina, I think it's kind of a trap game for Carolina. Carolina's going to win the game, but I think Tampa with Fitzpatrick, they could get backdoored here. Carolina actually don't blow teams out. They sort of take the pedal off the metal. They get up and they sort of think, we're good. I take Carolina almost every week, but I don't like Carolina in this spot. If I had to bet the game, I'd say Tampa covers, but I'm not taking Tampa. Everyone thinks it's going to be a track meet. All the algorithms and fantasy people, that's the game they're stacking this week. Atlanta and Washington, I've really talked myself into the Redskins here a lot. Washington are just a good football team. People they don't realize how good they are. Alex Smith is a winner. You got, Atlanta have the defensive injuries, but now they're missing 2 fucking guards too. 2 of the 5 starting offensive linemen are out. It's starting to catch up to them. I know they've had a bye week, but they're 2-5 against the spread. I don't like indoor sort of finesse passing teams going on the road in the grass on the East Coast. It slows them down. Look, Julio Jones slipped and fucking fell. They would have beaten the Eagles in the playoffs last year. I prefer Alex Smith at home in this spot. All they got to do is win the game. Washington are a good home team. I don't know if it's a trap, but the Houston Texans fucking should go into Denver and beat them. The Chargers in Seattle is really, really tough. There's been big line movement here. Seattle were -2, and now I see they're getting 1 point. The Chargers are suddenly favored. I think the Chargers are a little overrated by people. And, I look at this game as, the game's basically a pick-em, +1, whatever. And you're telling me that Russell Wilson versus Phillip Rivers, but this game's in Seattle. Seattle don't lose at home a lot. Seattle are much better than people realize. They got the second best secondary in the NFL according to the rankings. And, they like Carroll. They got a bunch of young guys. Like, getting rid of all those old guys with big mouths is the best thing they could have done. Fucking Earl, you notice I said this at the time. I said, I know it sucks for Earl Thomas that he got hurt, but it's not going to hurt the team. Like, he was the last sort of guy that was the last standing dude from the complainers. The Marshawn Lynch, Richard Sherman, Michael Bennett, and Earl Thomas. Fuck. You guys were the mouthiest guys and the guys that bitched the most all the time. And, they don't miss Richard Sherman. They don't miss Michael Bennett. They all talk shit about Carroll on the way out. It was pretty classist of them. And I said it early. I follow. I know what I'm talking about. Fuck. I noticed Seattle early in the year, and I saw how enthusiastic they were. And I was like, good. Carroll got rid of all the cancers and shit. He's got a bunch of young, enthusiastic guys. Richard Sherman used to throw footballs at fucking Russell Wilson and talk shit to him all the time, even recently. Now Russell Wilson can just be the star. There's no more of this bullshit eternal fucking jealousy from the rest of the team about him. I think they're more comfortable. Now, it's a tough game still either way. It's going to come down to this is a good teaser game. And now, especially now the underdogs, you can get Seattle on their home field at +8. Come on. And a teaser, I like it. But I like Seattle to win the game. Quick note on this game. I got to get out of here, but quick note on this game. Russell Wilson is 17-4 straight up at home when he's favored by less than 7 points. But now he's not even favored. He's an underdog. And I'll tell you right now, Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll as underdogs at home, they're lethal. You're asking the Chargers to win in a pretty hostile spot. I don't get it. I think the Chargers are overrated a bit here. Great game, though. Great game. Rams and fucking Saints. Wow. We could spend all night talking about this. Could go either way. Saints have played 2 straight road games at Baltimore, a tough game, and then they beat Minnesota that they had circled last week. The Rams are undefeated and a juggernaut. Tough spot. This is the Rams' toughest situation that they've been in this year. This is as good as it gets, man. You can make an argument for both teams. The totals come down a bit. At 59-60, it was freaking me out. But at 57, it's 57.5 now. I think we can get to 57. There should be points, but it's going to be like a playoff game. They're playing for home field essentially here. I think the Rams are the play, but the Saints might be better than they are. I don't know. This is one of these games. It's just that tough. But we've got time to break it down before that. Green Bay and New England, the Sunday nighter long. That game's like a million years away. And for the record, I love the Tennessee Titans on Monday night. But if you want my picks tomorrow collegially, I'll be on TV from 10 till 1. I'll be on YouTube. I'll be on the radio from 10 to 1 tomorrow. You want to talk UFC? I'll be on tomorrow from 3 to 5 with Robin Black, Michelle Serpico, John Anik, Middle Easy, Gamblu, and Mark Henry. We'll be on Patreon tomorrow night for the hardcore VIPs. That'll be fun, having a couple of drinks at Versa before the card. It'll be a fun little Patreon show tomorrow night. Patreon.com/sportsrage. And other than that, we'll see you online, guys. I got to get out of here. Other than that, you're on your own. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't. Pretty weak, only 42, but whatever. I give up with this shit. I ask you every fucking night. We've had a shitload of views tonight. Great show. Only 42 thumbs up. Fuck. Like I said, man, it's for SBR. It helps them with their algorithms and it gets YouTube placement. But you guys just like free fucking content. You can't even reach over and hit a thumbs up. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.